Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sector 1 Sim Racing for what's to be our second post-season special race, special challenge, call it what you like. This one's for the true enthusiasts. Tonight we get around Green Hell, the oh geez, I'll practice it a million times. We might introduce my co-commentator to who we got tonight. We got the good Doc joining us in the box for what should be an enthralling 2 hours of racing. Good Doc, good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Where
yeah,
are we
good.
racing?
Just,
how do we pronounce it?
the
The
Nordschleife.
Nordschleife. Nice. So that's where we are. Good evening, guys in chat. Those that joined us already. Carbon Boys, sounding pretty keen there, mate. Been looking forward to the Group C race. Good to hear. We have all been looking forward to this one. It should be interesting. As I said earlier, this is the one for the true enthusiasts, and we've got a lot of racing to get through, guys. So what we were thinking is let's get through it. We've got a qualifying session, which is to last 20 minutes to get through, which should allow them to get a lap and a half in, and and then we go racing for a full 90 minutes, which should provide us with plenty of interesting viewing. And as Doc was saying to me a little earlier, some fantastic footage coming through on some of the onboard camera shots, which we'll be getting on board and getting around this track with a few of our drivers tonight. Should be good. So good, Doc, when you're ready, mate.
Well, they're all out of the pits. And they're
Fantastic.
heading off on their outlap, so it's a good start. Everyone's out on the track. And
Good to hear.
these cars look fantastic. The livery guys have done an absolutely phenomenal job. The brief was a go big, 80s style, retro style livery. Some of the guys have chosen famous race liveries to sort of emulate with their current team sponsorship. So every team has a car in the grid. Every current Season 3 team actually has a car in the grid. And they've all done their best to bring us something big and 80s style, which is all look fantastic.
So the entirety of Sector 1 racing roster is represented in tonight's race, and we might go for a little bit of a dance around and have a look at some of these liveries the good Doc's talking about. Looking at the Green Beacon car, the Jag.
Yeah.
Carrying the 94 with TJ steering the wheel. Now we can only assume these guys have put in some serious practice time.
Some of these guys have been lapping in, so I've had this room now open for just on 2 hours, and some of these guys were in here straight away and have been lapping ever since, so they're definitely keen.
Of course, this track renowned for its length. And I think it's up over 20 k's in length, which makes it near on impossible for me to remember the layout of the track. It's long enough for me not to want to try anyway. But those that are keen, take this legendary track on, and tonight we've got 14 of them that have been willing to bite the bullet and take on the challenge. Looking at the Bez Media entry, believe that Bez Media car was paint job by NASCAR.
I believe so, yeah.
Yep.
Looking fantastic too.
Does
It's
look
one
nice.
of the more original style liveries, so that's in an 80s style for the current Cornerstone sponsorship group.
Good guess. Well done. Jimmy Superfly sitting
yeah.
next in the track here. So he's, what's he rocking around in a Revolution car? In the yellow
Mighty
and black.
Mazdas, listen to them. You hear these things for miles away. I think it's another
jumped on board to have a
sort
bit
of
of a
custom
listen.
job.
That on board is kind of crazy, isn't it?
Isn't it? Everything comes up real quick when you're in the passenger seat.
Yeah, so then we've got old Wakey on track, running around in a very 80s looking chill out Mazda.
Yep. RCLL, so Racing Cars Like Legends. Chill out back on board, which is awesome to see.
Of course, they, if I'm not mistaken, carry the champs. Coming off a extremely successful season, this team, and they'll be looking to continue on tonight with old Wakey behind the wheel. A serious challenge will come though. One of them will be from the fifth car here, which is DB007. We finally managed to get him behind the wheel of the Counterpunch GT track livery, thanks to Mo, I believe, for that one.
Yeah.
There shouldn't even be a doubt in my voice. Sorry, Mo. Thank you very much for taking care of our Counterpunch liveries. Does a great job.
So she's a retro throwback style to the early Counterpunch BMWs. I believe they were in the light blue and white. And he's gave that a bit of a twist in the 80s style as well. So big bold side flanks and top colour there.
He's done a great job of fitting it on the shape of that car, which I'm assuming is the challenge for guys that have been working on these cars, is the shape. So Gaz Balls, welcome back, Gaz.
He's back and he is in form, guys. He's been the fastest guy on the track all night so far. So big things going to happen here for Obsession Motorsport.
They've been gone, but not forgotten. Yep. Good to have him back. Very fast operator. Be looking forward to see how he goes tonight. We have Shansky. Well done,
He's
mate.
back too.
Yep.
Chopping in for a bit of a drive. Good to see.
Yep. Hard to keep him away. Aussie Hampton's livery.
I like that. It's bold looking livery.
Nice colours. It's turned out well. Would that have been a ghost livery, is it? No, that would be Aaron?
Oh, I'm not sure. Sorry, I have no idea who made that one.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it probably would have been Excalibur.
Good looking car though.
And Captain Muffin.
Yeah, so the Muffin man, he's switched back to Deeds Racing for the night. Obviously, he led them to a BMW Championship for season 2.
Chop out.
But he's jumped back out from on loan from Team 53 back to his old team to give these guys a bit of a run tonight in their Group C Porsche in the iconic
Looks awesome.
iconic livery there.
He's going to be a challenger tonight, along with this fella, most popular man with the biggest loyal following in Sector 1, Diego, getting around in that. What do we got? A Bacchus race, Datsun Racing.
Bacchus Datsun Racing. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I just had a blue car to disappear into the stratosphere there.
Performing a bit of magic.
Hope this lobby doesn't crash. That would suck.
Thanks for the confirmation there, Jimmy. The Aussie livery is a ghost livery.
Oh, there you go. Great job there, Ghost.
It's a pretty one there.
Listen to that Mazda wail. It's so loud.
We've got Diego, as we said, and in behind Diego at the moment, we've got Magenet. Magenet getting around in the... what's up there?
This is LLCR, so Motorculture Australia's jumped on board for this one for the special event. They're one of the BMW or M4 sponsors.
Okay, yep. So we'll be looking at similar colours sort of laid out on that M4 later on when we get into season 3, maybe.
They did cover Magenet for the back end when he jumped in the car in the M3 last season, mid-season. And they had the car sponsored for the entire second half of... Way big lose.
Captain Muffin.
That's a big one.
Debrev.
Oh, look at Maverick. Grudge.
Number 78. Looking in a very classic looking livery for Debrev there.
I really like this one.
And this is, of course, Team...
CJ Esports.
CJ Esports. Nice.
Hey, Jimmy.
That's worked.
That looks really good. They've nailed the brief on that one completely. I think it's another one of Womble's liveries too, so he's 2 from 2 for his cars tonight. They both look really good.
Next in line, we've got your fellow, is it? Yes.
Yeah.
The black light entry. Again,
another ghost car.
Ghost car this time.
Yeah, ghost to our Group C car.
Well, he's done himself proud there. That is something that would befit a Mo design, and it's filling big shoes when you take on a Mo car. He's done great there. That thing looks fantastic.
Yeah, TMR back on board for the major sponsorship for the special event. Haven't seen them in a major sponsorship role at Blacklight now for over a season, with Penensky taking over.
Of course. So that is going back to season 1.
Yep.
And then we've got the crazy one. And he's getting around in the Allianz car, which is this the new
Team
team?
53.
Yeah, the Team 53. Welcome aboard, Team 53. Of course, skippered by the one and only NASCAR. This would be... Oh no, he would have had an entry in the BMW special race earlier on.
He did,
last week, yep. So this will be his second official race.
I think he's painted that one too.
There he is,
Young
in
Pete.
Motorsport Football 92, is NASCAR in chat. Nice job on that car there, Pete. Well done. So that's the deliveries for tonight, and as long as we try to take with that, are these guys on an official lap yet?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, they're just about 2/3 of the way around their first hot lap. 10 minutes remaining, so they'll get one more crack at it if they suck this one up.
Right on. So we're going to jump on board here, or follow T-Jam around for a little bit, who's the first car out on track. Yeah.
They've already spread out quite a bit, haven't they?
They have. Quite possibly a sign of things to come. I mean, I'd expect tonight's racing to be different. It's going to keep us on our toes, that's for sure. Trying to figure out where they're all sitting, especially once we start getting into pit stops, and won't be the easiest one to follow, but I'm sure we'll be able to keep on top of it.
I'm not sure what we're looking at for stop strategy tonight, guys. I'm not really an endurance expert, so I don't know what the fuel rate burn on these cars is like. Look, at the moment they're going around. T-Jam is just over half a tank of fuel, so looking at that number, he's going hard too at the moment, so they might get 5 laps out of a tank.
Okay.
Which is probably going to be good for 25 minutes of racing.
So we might be looking at anywhere between
5 or 6 stops.
Yeah. And obviously that's not taking into what they might want to mix and match with tyre stops as well.
The tyres aren't showing a lot of wear, which is good. Cars don't weigh a lot, and they've got a lot of aero grip, so they're not really using a lot of tyre wear.
Okay.
Crikey, they're coming back into the circuit, down into the front straight fast, flying down the straight there. They're doing 355 down the straight. So these cars are all lock-tuned BOP, as T-Jam breaks the beam at a 542. Speedy Tyres has a 537 and runs off the road. He's given up. He thinks that'll do. Oh, T-Jam must have been on outlap because he didn't actually set a time.
Aha. Tricky bugger.
Jimmy Superfly does a 547.678 go to second. He's 9 seconds off the back of Speedy Tyres, which sounds like a lot, but around this circuit it is not. Wakey hasn't set a time yet. Who's that one? Shaneski set a time.
548, sitting in behind Jimmy Superfly.
So that's only half a second.
Wakey at the moment, who's about to complete.
Maverick! 545, 104 there to go straight to P2.
Nice.
He's jumped in the Revolution Racer for the night tonight. Revolution, not Revolution, Ragged Edge Racer, sorry there, Troy. Old mate Ghost was unavailable, unfortunately, so Maverick's got some big shoes to fill there in the mighty C9.
So what have we got? Just on 7 minutes still to go.
This will be pretty much it. They won't get around. Oh, they will get around twice, won't they? Because
they'll get around.
Doesn't
this
lock
one.
them out. Yeah.
Most of them should. Some of them might be cutting it fine.
Kazzy puts in a lap. 6:19. He's had a bit of an issue there somewhere.
Yep.
But he's still P6 because he's in front of the guys who haven't put in a time yet.
Well, I suppose you got to wonder what the value of a pole position is in a race like this.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they're only going to be starting maybe 30 to 40 metres apart, front to back.
You got Diego and Maverick doing some pretend no sitar racing for a bit there. Trying out the slipstream.
Of course, there'll be a fair bit of that going on. As far as lap times here, what are we looking at as being a quick lap? Maybe some of the more experienced boys in chat might be able to
There you go. Womble says TJ's hoping for a 5:35, which would put him in front on pole at this stage.
That's a good nearly 3 seconds faster than anything we've seen so far. Speedy Tyres leading the way. Oh, okay, I see. So Speedy's jumped across the other side of the garage.
Yeah, that's what confused me to begin with. Yes. I wasn't sure what was going on.
Gee, some of these slow corners look to be pretty testing for these cars. Fairly twitchy front ends with them by the looks of it. You put many laps in one of these things before?
I did a lap in a 787B as I opened the lobby. Mm-hmm. And yeah, she's hard work. Not something I'd want to do for an hour and a half. Oh, good spot there, Jimmy. Debrev there just slipped himself in position number 5.
P5.
He'd be happy as hell with that right now. Let's just call qualify now, he says. As someone goes off in front of him.
There's some big gaps in the times here. So Debrev in 5th is a good 19 seconds behind the time that Speedy Tyres set.
He's just got 2 seconds faster through that sector as well, though, so he's picking up the pace. That's the thing with a track this long, though. There's big gaps between the cars at the end of the lap.
Okay, we've got a car slowing up here, slightly dangerous on the grass. The Aussie Hampton car going a bit of a walkabout. Maverick sitting second on the grid here, 7 seconds off that Speedy Tyres lap.
Yeah, DB007's currently 14th though. Just saying.
Don't think we showed the Auto 1 livery prior to the race, prior to qualifying. There it is, ladies and gents. Is that another Ghost livery?
That's a Stickers livery.
Stickers. Very nice.
My old mate Stickers did that one. He's the lead decal man at Ragged Edge.
Aha.
Has done some fantastic liveries for them over the last couple of seasons as well. Auto 1 cars always look fantastic. I'm actually really keen to see the new ones. So the guys there keep an eye on the social media too, because a lot of the teams are just starting to release images of their Season 3 cars. Mm-hmm. I know the CP boys have started leaking shots of...
we saw the 5-time champs livery for this season on full display.
It's nice of you to show us a picture of the front of it so we can see what that looks like for the only time this season.
Right. It goes for all of us. They are very twitchy, Womble. That's the first thing I'm noticing. The front end of them in those slow corners, it's very easy to turn in too far.
I think there's a little bit of that twitchiness. TGM goes to second. Great job.
4 seconds.
I think it's
a
little bit of a shaky lobby too. I think, guys, just so you're aware, because the cars look like they're a little bit glitchy for me, but I'm hoping it settles down a little bit. Oh, Wakey
moves into second.
Goes bang.
That's about 3 seconds off the pace. So that gap to Speedy Tyres is closing, but of course we've only got 2 minutes left. It's this lap or nothing for all of these guys now.
Yep, Casbols has still not put a time down. He's going around now.
So it's pushed Maverick off the out of the top 3 temporarily. There's a few of these guys lap, further back that'll be looking to break into that top 3.
Muffin goes to second.
There we go.
Deeds Racing, 0.7 of a second off Speedy Tyres there with another lap to go. That he is. So Stickers there is in control of Dadson Racing Star decal sheet as well. So all those gorgeous Bacchus cars you see with the Dadson Racing team, courtesy of Stickers' handiwork as well. So he's actually put out some pretty decent looking liveries again this season so far.
Debrev improved slightly to 8th. It's the time, which is about 20 seconds behind the top guy. Well, this is going to be the true test of concentration, isn't it? The standard Sector 1 race will feel like a walk in the park after this.
It's an unrelenting lap too round here. Like, it's a long circuit for starters, but there's no real time. There's only one real time to have a bit of a rest, and that's along that main straight before the back end of the back end of the circuit there. Fairly long straight there, where the cars will top out to over 300k an hour.
Have we got any idea which of the manufacturers has got the overall strength there?
Talking to Ghost last week, he said that the Porsche is the one to look at for outright pace, but I don't think it's going to matter in BOP. I think the cars are pretty even.
Yep.
At the moment we've got a Porsche leading and a Porsche second, so go figure.
Just following DB here, who's really yet to set a time. So there's probably, a good 3 or 4 guys who'd be wanting or would have thought themselves.
Oh, you almost ran a road there. He just walked that through there.
Top 3 start here. We've got DB down there. We've got Diego in 11th. Gazballs in 10th.
Speedy Tyres is on his last fly now. He's purple through the second sector. 0.2 of a second up on his own lap. Okay, Captain Muffin's been given the final lap light now, so he's on his last one. Speedy's up again through sector 3. 0.5 of a second up on his lap. It's going to look like he's putting together a pretty decent lap here.
Just on board with Speedy Tyres at the moment. Actually, there's something I'm going to need, a bit of a lap corner reference. Coming ahead.
I know 2 corners in this entire circuit, and they're both called Carousel.
2 more than me. Good work.
It's Carousel 1 and Carousel 2, and then there's the YouTube corner. all the car crash videos are on YouTube. They're always from the same spot. Oh, Wakey's on a pretty good lap. T-Jam, I can't tell from where he is, but he's on the back side of the circuit with a minute to go, minute 40 before he needs to get to the line.
Okay, let's see if we can't.
He's coming through YouTube now. He's down by miles. He's not going to make it. Maverick's on that lap, which means he's no good. Jimmy Super's on that, which means he's good. No good.
No, so they're done.
Shane Shoe's on a roll around, so he's done. Deprev and Black Project having a bit of a race about it around the back end of the circuit.
So T-Jam, I think, is sort of leading the train of cars here who are on live laps looking to set a time. Behind him, old Wakey.
Oh, just saw a purple sector through there. I can't still remember who. Oh, there it was. Diego's purple. He's on the back end of the circuit as well. He's gone through YouTube. He's 0.4 of a second up on the fastest lap. Can he pull off a miracle? He put the Mazda on the front row. Gazballs is just behind him on the road too. Keeping on me.
T-Jam unfortunately has had an off. That's going to hurt.
Stay with Diego here. Next split. He's 0.3 of a second up.
This is Diego.
Yep.
Go for 100.
He's just about to approach the carousel here. Somewhere here, I think.
Yep,
there it is, second carousel. Oh, almost overcooked there. Now you're going to get a nice solid run out of this last turn here to get a good run down the straight, which it looks like he does.
So Speedy Tyres still holding with that first lap he set. It's nice and early, the 5:37.8.
There comes the split for Diego.
5:01.6. Not purple anymore.
It didn't give me at purple, so he might have lost some time there.
I'm trying to track down these guys that are getting close to... We've got Gazballs coming up to finish a lap here.
5:35, 36 is a good lap from
37,
Gaz. 5:37, 38.
So 5:40 puts him in the third.
I think you take that. Here comes Diego.
Mamma mia, finding them on track's not easy. Here we go. Boom,
38
Diego.
seconds. Almost gets it. He just scraped for his Captain Muffin there by .031.
Looks like Speedy might hang on here.
He's on a faster sector as well as he exits the second carousel.
Magenet in 12th at the moment as he comes to complete what's going to be a fairly competitive lap. A mid 140, 47. That improves him to 8th. 4 spots better off. Good lap.
Good job. Who's still going? Debrev's about to finish his last lap.
Come on, Claude.
He's off the pace, I think.
He's had a bit of a...
Black Project goes to 8th. Great job, mate. Well done.
Okay, we're on board with DB007. Sitting in 14th at the moment. He's kind of called for all the attention here by leaving it late. And I tell you what, he's not going to manage to knock him off. He's finished 5th.
All right, Speedy Ties. I think it's the last one going round. Here he comes. He's purple. Can he get it done? 37. Wow.
He's improved by 0.5. Well, there you go. Bit of a surprise.
Oh, Kazzie's still going as well at the moment.
Kazzy had a big off.
But he's had a big off, so he's done and dusted. I think he's the last one. Oh, hang on. Jimmy Superfly's still on a lap as well.
Jimmy?
But he's on a 7-minute lap, so he's done ski.
He's not going to improve.
So he's not going to make it around. There's a minute 13, 14 of overrun to go.
I think we've all called it a day.
Yep.
Jimmy Superfly with some theatrics.
So what I'll do is I might screen grab this now. Why this is like this, because these guys are going to go in for it's going to auto start a 1-lap race, and they're going to exit for me. And then I'll set the grid manually and we can go racing.
Alrighty. Well, qualifying done and dusted. When you get a sec there, I'll get you to run this through the grid.
Sure thing.
Good doc.
Send them
Give
to
me an
yourself.
S, give me a P, give me an E. Give me another E.
Alright, so
Alright, here we go.
grid as it sits now. So Speedy Ties takes pole position there with a 5:37.284. Great lap there. Diogo there, second position. Was closer when he crossed the line, but then Speedy just smacked them all out of the park at the end. Captain Muffin, very close gap there. It was a .031 gap to Diogo in third position. Gazballs in 4th. DB7 5th. Wakey 6th. T-Jam in 7th. I've lost it. It's gone away from me at the moment. Alright. Make sure these guys exit.
Alright, so that's our top 7 to this stage. We'll get the remainder of that starting grid very shortly. While we're got the guys about to take off on a mini lap. We've had a few others join us in chat. Prusky, how are you, mate? Sam Templeton, evening, gents. How are you, mate? Thanks for joining us, guys. It should be interesting. There'll be plenty of time during the race to grab another drink if you need. I know I'll be doing it. What am I? 1.5 deep. There's a few more lined up waiting to go later on.
It's just something a little bit different, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I think we need to find sort of a suitable pace to follow this at. If we try to do an hour and a half at ghost pace, I might give myself an aneurysm. Yeah, you're right there, Brocky. The value of pole, other than the history books. Sector 1 is going to be getting very serious about their record keeping from here on in. We want to be able to have a nice, clear, detailed run of our history of all our races, including these special events. And Speedy Tyres will always have that little record, having claimed pole position in the Group C race here at the Nordschleifer.
Nordschleifer.
Yeah, well broken down earlier by Brocky for us.
Alright, so we're going to go practice endurance race. Time limit 90 minutes, not 24 hours, 90 minutes. Forever. Grid set by host. And then they're going to re-enter again. Poor buggers. So here we go up the screen there, guys. That's all the profile shots of the cars and some really nice escapes there done by the one and only Ghost. to get a bit of an idea of what the cars are looking like.
There's some big shots in there, actually.
So, I reckon we need to get some top threes, guys. I'm interested to see what people's thoughts are on the top three tonight for this race. It's a long race.
And whether they've been affected by the outcome of that quali. This track's going to maybe throw a few spanner in the works, I think. Well, I might lead the way here. I'm going to go with a... I'm going to go with the pole setter. I'm going to go with Speedy Tyres to get home ahead of Gaz, ahead of DB. That'll be my top three for tonight.
One of the drivers goes, "You haven't set it up properly." Thanks, mate. I'm a bit rusty there, guys. It's been a while since I've had to host anything, so you know I'm still learning this stuff.
Speedy Muffin, Gaz balls.
Maverick Diego to Brev. That's a bold call there, Jimmy. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to start setting this grid now, guys. So just giving the guys a couple of minutes there to go and have a pee and that, because they're going to be sitting in the seat now for another hour and a half. So, you know,
give them a chance to clear the pipe, so to speak.
Yeah, have a stretch, have a quick feed, kiss their loved ones goodbye.
Maybe get a bit of feedback also from chat, what guys are thinking of their new rides for their new cars for Season 3. If anybody's had a chance to practice in their respective M6, M4s, and initial thoughts. I think we know the guys from Lucky's Lawn Care have mixed opinions on the new cars.
What do you think of your car, mate?
I'm back
you're
home.
a M4 pilot.
I'm back
You're
home.
an M4 pilot from way back, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I think I did something like 5 out of 6 seasons in an M4. So, and the other one was in the M6. So yeah, pretty comfortable in the BMW.
I never drove it.
And I think the way we got settings for the M4 the settings for it made it a really exciting little car, the M4, for this season. She feels fast.
She's not quite as extreme as the previous incarnation of it as we had in our main series, but it's a bit more controllable, a bit more balanced, and like he says, it's poo. Wants his feather back. Yeah, you guys, for the first time, we're actually talking about you being on the back foot a bit now, because you're in a completely different kettle of fish to what you're used to driving, being a Ferrari pilot for 2 and a bit seasons. All right, I have a grid for you, sir, if you'd like to hear it.
Yeah, mate, let's
I've got it all set up. So Speedy Tyres leading from pole with Diego second. Cat and Muffin and Gazballs off row 2, both in Porsches. So Diego there, surprisingly, run with the 787 into P2, which is awesome to see. First, the Jaguars in position 5 with DB007. Old Wakey out of P6 with another 787B Mazda. Another Jaguar, T-Jam, out of P7. The leading Sauber Mercedes is out of position number 8. That's Maverick. Black Project in another one of the Mazdas. There's a lot of Mazdas on this grid. Out of 9th. Maginot out of 10th in a Mazda. Jimmy Superfly out of 11th in a Mazda. Shane Sky in the Porsche 962C out of position number 12 for Aussie Hampton Racing. Debrev starting out of 13th in the Sauber Mercedes C9, and Kazi off the back in the Jaguar XJR for Team 53, I believe. I think they are. I think he's with.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be overly stressed starting out of 14th, to be honest, because it's a long race. You've got plenty of time.
Absolutely.
I think we'll give these guys a 1 minute warning and tell them that they're about to go. And then we'll go racing, eh? This is where the nerves start building up.
Yeah, this is where you're going to start to wonder, am I going to be able to hold it all together for a full 90 minutes? Start hallucinating at about 70.
This is where these guys have got to be that little bit more careful. First couple of corners, the car's going to be really close together. You just got to be a bit polite to the guy around you. Don't try and take it in there at 1,000 mile an hour, because you're not gonna come out of it all right. Someone's going to end up going off, and then the afterfield's going to crash, and then the field's going to be spread out. Plenty of time for racing.
The slow and steady approach early, I think, is going to be the way to go.
As we
Okay.
get going, we're ready to rock and roll.
Okay.
So these cars here, I don't know what they're like off a standing start. These are more accustomed to a roll start sort of vehicle. So off a standing
Valid
start.
point.
So I don't know how they're going to go. Traction control will probably be a must for some of these guys, if not all of them. Oh! I just got blue screened.
Oh, no.
Oh, that sucks.
Love it.
Oh, yeah. I'll get this going as quickly as possible.
They're all revving. So that means the lobby will crash. Obviously, you're hosting the lobby, so
Yeah.
yep.
I'm already restarting the game.
All still revving their engines. I might try.
Agreed there, Cyborg. Best time for that to happen. You don't want it happening halfway through a 90-minute race. That is annoying.
Yeah. 2 years down the track, 2.5 years down the track, and experiencing what we were experiencing way back then.
Exactly right, which is frustrating because you get all that done.
So just a few little facts as we wait on the track itself, guys, as I did a little bit of research, but Ghost has simplified it for us here. The track length is 20.8 kilometres, so she's long as hell. Number of turns, lots, he's put there. So, and I did read, is it up over 50?
Corners.
Yeah, I did. I watched some doco and it said it there, and I really should have tried to remember some of that. Was the point of watching it, but anyway. And of course, tonight the race is over 90 minutes. Tyre wear we've got to ×4. The fuel burns at ×3. Bop is on. Car settings are locked.
Yep. I don't think these things need to be open settings. They're already fast enough. Don't chop me there, bad top. Just because your power's off.
Really? You guys had some weather down there, have you?
I don't know. I've got my curtains shut, so if it's going on outside, I have no idea about it. Gives the Cyborg time to finish making his toasted cheese sandwich. Good work, Cyborg. I'm a big fan of a cheese toasty.
Give us a heads up when that lobby's up.
It's up. They're all coming back in really quickly too. These guys are doing a great job to get in nice and fast. We should be able to get this back up and running fairly quickly. Power line blew up in front of his head. Ugh, that sucks.
Power line blew up the front. That's pretty annoying. Left him in the dark.
It's alright. Mobile phones and stuff. Be able to watch it on your phone.
So it looks like some M4 times rolling in from Suzuki around the 2-minute mark. That's pretty swift.
I've been out of the seat for too long now. I don't know what fast is anymore, unfortunately.
I have to get you back in there at some stage.
Oh, damn. Jimmy Supervisor gets crashed.
Got an issue with some weather.
We'll give him a couple minutes, see if he can get in. Otherwise, he said call it and go. That's a shame. Alright, well, the rest of the guys are in and entered, so I'll just set the grid anyway. Minus
Jimmy.
I hate it when people miss out. It's so frustrating. So Speedy from Diego, and then it was.
Don't know if
Captain
anybody
Muffin
watched the
in third.
micro sector on Thursday, but I made mention of an issue I'd had with my internet, TPG, where and I think a couple of guys mentioned the same thing had happened to them, where my download speeds had increased, but my upload speed had been absolutely smashed to pieces. I was getting 3 megabyte upload from 30, which is what I had originally.
Brutal.
So a bit of investigating, and it turns out now it's a limitation NBN Co has placed on all service providers that there's to be no more than 20 megabyte upload on any plan, which used to be 40. Now it's 20 because they don't believe that Australians need high upload speeds. Bit of a gross generalisation there, but anyway. But I did get in touch with my company and they did put me back up to at least 20, so without them chopping up the increase in upload speed they'd given me in the first place. So if anybody's gone through a similar thing, give them a call. I'm pretty sure they'll fix it for ya. How Jimmy's going.
That's a bit of a generalisation, isn't it? Just to say, oh yeah, no, you don't need to go any faster than that.
Well, the NBN from go to woe has been about what they think we need and what we don't need. I mean, advanced world's out there enjoying gigabyte download speeds, and we're getting all excited about 100 megabytes. But anyway, hopefully Jimmy.
One more minute for Jimmy. We'll give him another minute and then we'll get going. Wouldn't want to see anyone miss out. It's the worst feeling in the world when
he's happy to start
the
at
race
the back.
going. Well, if you can get in, I can put him on the grid. It's not a problem. But it's the worst feeling in the world when someone just makes it into the room as the race starts and they miss it. We've had that issue before where we've red flagged a race and to get someone in that was late, and then when they got in, then someone else crashed.
Yeah, opens the whole can of worms, doesn't it?
It does. We thought we'd outsmarted the old Australian internet gods by doing it on a Saturday night.
Not to be.
Apparently it doesn't work like that.
So I've got the track map in front of me here, and I'm not game to try and name any one of those corners. Even with them there. Oh, Berg work. Is it doable? The rest of them.
On my way. No, he's here, he's coming.
Beautiful.
The vultures were circling Jimmy. A couple of guys messaged me going, I can jump in if you want. Which car do I need to grab hold of?
Left and right. I can handle that. Now, as a bit of a YouTube junkie, I'm assuming I'm the YouTube junkie. I'm not suggesting you're a YouTube junkie, Ghost, but I'm assuming you've sat there and watched hours and hours of these people that take on this track in normal cars and stack it. There's one particular section on the track.
Yeah, I call it YouTube.
I'm just trying to figure out where that is on this track.
It's after the first carousel, but before the second one. So it's on the track map there. Yeah. It's up on the top right hand side up there somewhere.
Yeah, okay. Whip 'em in.
I'll let you know when we get round there on the first lap. The camera angle is spot on too. It's exactly where it is in the real world. Yep, where these guys take the videos and the photos of these guys in crappy old Beamers and Porsches and they're smacking themselves in the fence.
Yes, running wide on a right hander.
Yep.
Yep.
They kick through there and they get out the outside and then it flicks the back end. They just nose plant the wall every time. dearie me.
Alrighty, ladies and gents. So we'll be getting pretty close. Still just waiting on Jimmy at the moment.
Come on, Jimmy. Come on. You can do it. These guys are getting antsy now. They qualified and they're ready to go, and they got on the grid, and then the room crashed. You know, they're sitting in the pits and waiting. It messes you up. They do sound nice idling. Again, it's all the Mazdas in there. The little rotors just rolling over. Here he comes. I'll start the race now. We'll get Jimmy on the grid and then we'll get going.
Okay.
I'll give these guys a 1 minute to let them know that we're about to roll away. Cross everything that this room holds up. All good, buddy. That's what we do here. Special event. Try and get everyone on the grid because you guys have all put in the effort to practice, and everyone's put in the effort with the liveries and that, so we like to see every car on the grid if we can. You know, make sure everyone gets a go. Once Jimmy's entered, I'll just drop him into the grid and we're good to go.
No man behind.
Starting out of position number 11.
That just gave us enough time to get out to the fridge and back.
Good work.
Keiju Crush is on the menu.
What's that one? Is that one of those craft beers?
It is a pale ale, a tropical pale ale. Slightly fruity.
Alright, we're good to go. Cross everything, guys. We're about to go racing. 90 minutes around the North Schleifer. Please don't crash again. Crashes again, I'm just going to go to the corner and cry.
Yeah, there'll be a bit of that, I think. Alrighty, guys, here we go. We're about to get a start. All things being equal. A few of the guys getting impatient. Lights are flashing.
Yep, cars are all sitting. All these guys have got to start from around the corner. That's going to be rough.
So Speedy Tyres will be leading the way in the turn one.
Revs are up. They're away. They're all the way too. All cars are mobile, so we're going. We're green. We're green.
Fantastic.
Oh, look how good this looks. It looks so good. Very well behaved too in the start line there, guys. Great to see. The speed, he's just rocking it away. Almost says over a second clear already. He's going to break these guys early and just lead the way. So, be looking for Captain Muffin here, currently third, to try and chase down Diego here and make a move nice and early to get on the back of Speedy Tyres. Oh, we've got one around at the back. Kazzy's out of lose. Let's see, mate. Get it going.
Well, you wouldn't think that any amount of fuel saving here is going to allow you an extra lap, really, is it?
No.
There's just
these
no
guys
way
will be flat out all the way. 340k an hour there at the laser for Speedy Tyres.
Captain Muffin is jammed up against the rear end of Diego here.
And you got Gazballs there not far behind. DB007 is with him as well. Then it's 1.5 seconds back to Old Wakey, leading the leading the rest of the Mazdas back there. You got T-Jam in the second of the Jaguars. And then Maverick still leading the way for the Sauber guys. I'm actually surprised there's only 2 Saubers on the grid. I thought there'd be a couple of C9s, but we only ended up with 2. We had the one that the Ghost was going to drive, which was sort of the genesis of this entire race. It was him finally getting to drive his sweetheart C9. Maverick there doing it justice, currently in the 10, position number 8, good to see.
We have one fall off the back already, the crazy one.
Yeah, Kazzy.
Yep.
Yeah, second sector, he just got a little bit wider and he just threw it off the road a bit, so he's He's got a little bit of work to do, but he's got plenty of time.
That's
so
exactly right. Yeah, he's got a nice clear track out there all on his lonesome. Doesn't need to worry about the hordes behind or in front of him, making life difficult. Speedy tyres.
Jimmy Superfly, Shansky and Maginot there are all very close together. So Jimmy's making the most of this. He's gone up a couple of spots since the start of the race. He started 11th, he's currently 9th, so a little bit of a chop out and second chance he got. He's taking advantage. Black Project's had a bit of a problem because he was in the top 10 and he's back in 13th now, so he's had a bit of an issue. He's having a bit of a play there with Dobrev.
We got
in the second of the C9s.
Shansky and Gazballs has had an issue too. He's dropped down to 10th.
Dear. Well, there goes my pre-race favourite.
Shansky all over the back of Superfly here.
Oh,
not an area you think you'd be looking to pass.
I bet they're grinning from ear to ear, these boys. Captain Muffins is taking Diego for second as well, guys. I just saw that on the Christmas tree.
Jeez, they're quick, aren't they?
The camera has trouble keeping up with them when they go flying past, isn't it?
On board with Shansky. As he's applying the heat to Jimmy Superfly, trying to draw an error out of him. So far, Jimmy's just held it all together.
He's got Gazballs right behind him too. Into the carousel they go. Love the carousel. Great corner. Oh, they lift the wheel on the exit. This is approaching the YouTube section of the track up here. You see the graffiti gets more on the track. It gets a lot more up thick. I see where we're going to be there. We're going to be there very shortly, I think.
No, there's a fairly tight right-hander, and then they...
Here we go, down here.
Yep.
And this is where the camera, see where the people are on the side of the track?
Yes.
And here's the sandpit corner. Up next, I think. No, not quite. This is a great bit of track through the back end of the circuit here, though. This is it here. This is the one. See all the tents?
Yep. And they've all,
And there's a sand pit there on the left now as you come around this pit. And this is where they all planted that fence there on the right.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
So around, what's that? So, Brunchen. Oh,
yeah.
Run a bit wide there. Right. Shansky manages to gather it up, and I would have thought that allows Gazballs. He's right on his ginger
He's with the pressure on, yeah.
These guys slugging it out at the moment for
Gaz, hold on to it.
He managed to hang on.
So DB007's actually been on the man of the move at the moment. He's currently 4th now, and he's really starting to put the pressure on the back of Diego. Captain Muffin not far up the road. 6 seconds on the road to Speedy Tyres there. He's just walking this.
He's cleared out. Nice
Look
and early.
At the gap. Tyre and fence update there, Womble. Yeah, a bit of scuffing on both, I think, mate.
Tyre and fence update.
DB makes the move on Diego down the straight. The Jag's apparently the fastest in the straight line. That's what I've been told from the pit wall. It'll top 360k an hour as it does now under the bridge. 363, 64, 65, 367. Oh, just shy of 370 there.
Wow.
Out of the big Jag. That's hauling no matter what you're driving.
Well, these... Whoa. Tail happy there, DB. Hang in there, son. These these three need to be working together. They can't allow Speedy Tyres to dictate terms like this. And they get caught up racing each other. It's just going to make it all too easy. They need to work together.
Yep,
particularly where they can down those straights. Yep.
Wakey and TJ aren't far behind. They're 1.6 seconds behind them at the moment, so they're in that sort of area where they can pounce on any mistake.
Yep. Well, I'm surprised how close these cars still are, to be honest, to each other.
Yeah, the back half of the 10, it goes back to Maverick there in 7th, still on this train. He's 2 seconds off the back of these guys. And you got 7 seconds back to Superfly, who's still fighting tooth and nail with Gazballs. He's popped an indicator on. I don't know if that's to let Gazballs pass or he's just having a bit of a play with him. Imagine's fallen off the back of this one. Black Project's a little bit further back again. Dobrev. Shansky's had another issue because he's back in 13th now. And Kazi there in 14th. Speedy Tyres 6.5 seconds clear and still pulling away.
T-Jam and Old Wakey fighting it out for 5th and 6th. pressure being applied.
Oh, Wakey's followed him for a lap. He's led this for a couple of laps now, and TJ's been good. He's been following him quite nicely. I think he's decided that these guys are getting a little bit too far away, and he needs to clear old Wakey and go after him. Oh, hold on to it.
Or he's happy with the pace old Wakey's setting, and he's just happy to sort of try and follow in behind him at a speed that he feels comfortable with. He's made a slight mistake there, and that's all it's going to take here. I mean, speedy tyres can make one mistake and go from that 6-7 second lead to mid-pack in an instant. So, as we all know, we don't need to keep repeating it. It's all about concentration, maintaining the consistency, and staying off that green stuff.
Yep. That's why they call it the green hell.
Yep, staying off the green stuff. Easier said than done.
This little battle for second position is getting interesting. DB's caught up to Captain Muffin. Still got his wiper going. Wouldn't want to be paying for the Lexa window on the front of that Jaguar. That's going to have a nice little scuff mark across it.
As we know, if anybody's taken the time to have a look at these things in real life, they really were out of their minds, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Insane stuff.
Oh, they're ridiculous cars. They really are. Speedy Tyres is coming to his own here, hasn't he?
I'd say we've come somewhere where he's comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame Ghost hasn't been able to make it tonight, because it would have been good to see him measure up against these fellas on a track where he spends a bit of time. I think he enjoys driving this track.
Yeah, exactly. He would be the first to admit that he probably doesn't have the outright pace of some of these guys, but his track knowledge around here would be, and his determination over a long distance race would have him up there at the end, I reckon. Captain Muffin's doing pretty well. He's just a little bit wide there on the run down to YouTube. It's going to give DB a look. But where do you do it though? The track's not exactly wide, is it?
No, I mean, you really got to bide your time and just try to be as close as possible at the right time. Oh, this is allowing Diego to sneak up again, so these three are sort of Constantinaing apart and coming back together again. Evenly matched. Oh, listen to that scream. Might jump on board with Diego for a bit.
In the Mazda.
As he tries to run these two in front of him down.
Great motor in that car. They're 213B turbo rotaries. Just got some sticky glue and stuck them together, and with the 26B quad turbo.
Oh, again up front there, we just saw a bit of an error from Captain Muffin, which has allowed both Diego and DB to close up. DB's playing it smart here. He's going to wait for the right time. These boys are now about to straighten them up and let them rip.
Here they go.
Throttle full open. Here we go.
In. Watch this top speed now. 310, 320, 330. Still climbing. 340 on the limiter for the Mazda. Look at this. Look at the gamesmanship ahead there. A bit of weaving out of the straight there from these guys as DB takes the position from Captain Muffin along the straight.
That thing's on the red line, isn't it?
The Jag's at 360 on the limiter. Speedy Tyres is in.
Oh.
He's just playing with these guys. He's just gone in for a couple of sets.
We've also had Muffin go in as well, which is going to leave DB and Diego out in front. Interesting.
Okay, so this will be interesting. DB does the fastest lap with a 5:41.980 there. So a lot of these guys have snuck in. But as you can see, the gaps are so wide now that the cars are getting in and out and not really changing. So Speedy Tyres didn't even lose the lead. There's a 4-second stop, and he's still 7 seconds down the road.
Wow.
TJ can afford to hold back. He's not stopping for fuel the whole race.
Okay. Some new technology put in that car.
Well, that said, he's actually sitting on 3/4 of a tank still. And to put it in perspective, Speedy Tyres is just over half.
Okay.
DB's under half.
So we've got a, a Cornerstone Performance leading the way. Diego's managed to get out in front of DB. DB's had an issue. Yep.
He has too.
There we go.
And now he's in trouble from the Captain Muffin on the fresh tyres.
That's what I get. I was lining up a boast. I was about to say first and second CP cars.
He's in deep trouble now though, because Captain Muffin's on fresh rubber and he's all over him already.
Mm-hmm. Just goes to show how much you pay, the price you pay for a simple mistake.
Here comes that D's Racing Porsche. It's shades of the legendary Rothmans Porsche of Le Mans fame. As soon as I saw that livery, I'm like, what am I going to paint the D's car? That's going to work perfectly. We'll do that. Kind of proud of that one.
I like the way Captain Muffin's driving. He looks very solid on the track. There's not a lot of correcting going on, where a lot of the other cars seem to be, no, what have I done to him? A lot of the other cars seem to be making a lot of micro corrections. I was about to say he was looking very smooth till he made that little mistake there, but in general he's looking good.
Look at the pace difference from the car and the fresh rubber. He's having no trouble keeping up with DB there, whose tyres are looking very tired.
Surely coming
but we
in
did see
here.
Lap 2 for DB was his all-out lap though. That was a 5:41.9. That was a quick lap for a race lap in traffic. As Captain Muffin has another look. This is where you've got to be a bit careful. This could all end in tears. If both cars end up off the track and the fans spun around, they lose 30-40 seconds in one hit. Suddenly they're right down the back.
This
is good for Diego too.
15 minutes in, I'm impressed. We're yet to see any of that crash and bash. Guys are using their brains out there.
It's going to be interesting when the fatigue starts kicking in later on too.
Yeah. You'll
start seeing cars, like the gaps are obviously going to spread, which they will. It's just the way it's going to be. These guys can't commit to this kind of racing for an hour and a half. So the gaps will start to, the lap times will slow up a bit, the gaps will spread out, but then you'll start seeing faster transitions of the gaps going bigger and smaller as the cars on the fresh tyres suddenly feel like rocket ships compared to the ones on worn tyres.
11 seconds clear again. Speedy Tyres. He's in a class of his own at the moment.
He's got no trouble at the moment, I don't think, unfortunately. I think he might have this.
DB and Muffin are both closing in on Diego, though. They're only about 1.2 seconds behind.
TB's making that Jaguar very wide.
Yep. Go through that tricky part of the course again.
Oh, well, that's what Womble's done. Okay, that makes sense. Womble, good idea. So they've taken the Jaguar XJR9 body shell and dropped it over the top of a Prius. So TJ's going to have no trouble getting home without having to refill. I personally would have used a Tesla, but, you know, okay. And these guys are still going at it. I'm interested to see what view that the Captain Muffin drives from as well, because I couldn't do what he's doing here because I raced off the front bumper cam and I wouldn't be able to see a thing.
You'd be racing blind, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and you can't race a track like this blind. It just doesn't work.
No.
But he has been within a car length of the back of that Jaguar for practically this whole lap, or closer, to the point where he was just nudging the back bumper.
Gaz Ball's in a solid 7th at the moment, all on his lonesome there. He's got 3 seconds to get to T-Jam ahead and about 3 seconds to Maverick behind him.
Here comes the move for second. Captain Muffin's going to make it under the bridge. For third, sorry. Side by side with the Jag. D's Racing versus Counterpunch.
Looks like it's hit a brick wall.
Yeah, that wall of air when you come out of the slipstream and suddenly there's just like this brick wall of air there.
He's got it done.
The grip, the grip difference.
Mm-hmm.
And in goes DB. I expect that one.
So they're
James gone around again.
At 30 litres a lap. No, it'd be more than that.
Okay, so DB's taking fuel and tyres. So it's another strategy play up here.
Mm-hmm.
He's been stopped for that little bit longer. He's come out with his one of the other Jags. So he's come out with T-Jam on that ridiculous fuel save. So, to put it in perspective, guys, T-Jam's got more fuel on board than DB does, and he's already put some more in.
Well, it's a strategy. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
I don't see him making the whole distance of the race. He's on a half a tank now with an hour and 12 minutes to go out of an hour and a half. He's probably going to have to stop twice if he keeps up this kind of fuel stage. But
he's holding 6th, which is a good result. So, bit of a wait and see sort of game with him, but so far so good.
Well, at this stage too, though, if he can keep this pace up and stop two times less than everyone else, then he will find his way moving forward up the pack. If he can look after the rubber, which the tyres do not look bad. For tyres that are now entering their 4th lap of this massive circuit, they're actually in really good shape.
So we're looking
Whereas
at about...
DB's tyres... Whoa, he's off! DB's off!
Again.
He just went straight off into the sand there. Yep. So TJ picks up a spot there and absolutely rockets away. 4 seconds clear now.
Yeah, so that's a second mistake now by DB. Clearly not comfortable on track. So maybe some pre-race positivity I had for him is starting to wane a little bit.
I reckon that's a case of cold tyres there.
Could be. Yeah, that's right. So he's on his out lap, isn't he? And only just out on his out lap.
Yep.
Our leader, Speedy Tyres, has now put 17 seconds on the second place Diego. He is flying and he's showing him how to do it.
Diego's about to get run down by Captain Muffin in a sec.
We don't think we could have predicted that, to be honest. So we've Diego under the pump.
Well, Diego's on very worn rubber now. That car has got 4 cooked boots. So he's in a world of hurt now with that high grip level Porsche right behind him as it goes down the inside. It's going to get it done here.
Nose up there, yep.
It's done. It's through already. Cuts across too. Beautiful move. Decisive too. Just gets it done.
Yep.
And Diego's going to do his best to stick with him here, but I expect to see the Porsches walk away a little bit now.
Yeah, no, he's
so Porsches now 1-2 again.
Mm-hmm.
Speedy Tyres goes purple through like the 5th or 6th sector there. He's up like quite a bit on his lap as well. Or DB's lap, sorry. So he's really looking to stamp this one home.
Oh, look at that draft. God damn, look at that.
Oh, Captain, hold on to it.
There may have been a little bit of help in that. A little tiny little nudge. And Diego closed right up.
Oh, there's a grip difference
very deep there, Diego, into that corner, and that's cost him.
He's actually switched on his traction control a bit now too, Diego, to try and get a little bit more grip out of it before the end of the lap. His traction control light's starting to flash quite a bit. So he's trying to help himself out now.
Might have a quick look further back in the field for a bit. Up front, those boys are, as we jump on with Maverick here, he's sitting in 8th, midfield. Still trailing Gaz Balls. He's lost a further 2 seconds to Gaz. But he's got a fair gap to Jimmy Superfly there at 20 seconds. So, and this is where you need to knuckle down. When there's nothing to chase, nothing to run from, just you and the track. Try to get into some sort of rhythm. I think that's the hard part about this track, and the reason why I've never really enjoyed racing it is getting into a rhythm is so hard to do.
Absolutely. It's not my cup of tea either.
Yeah, you can't remember.
Just for that reason.
The track crystal clearly. Too many corners. It's what makes a drive like what Speedy's doing at the moment all that more admirable, I suppose.
Yeah, 20 seconds clear. Not looking like he's going to slow down anytime soon.
We got Black Project here with his just must have jumped Jimmy Superfly.
Yeah, Jimmy's had an issue there, I think, because he was quite a bit further up the road there. Black Project looks like he's yet to pit as well. He's on fairly worn tyres. As I think Jimmy might pick him off again very shortly because he's got fresh rubber on that Revolution Mazda. Yeah, look at the difference in grip. He's right on him again already.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to them though. They sound hilarious, the pair of them running together. I wish race cars still sounded like that.
Oh, look at that for a move. You don't mind, umpire cracker. Let's see if we can't get that as a replay. That was spectacular. And we had a good view of it too. We had a bit of a chopper cam following him here, and he just saw that gap open up on the inside and he said, I'll take that.
Thank you very much, sir. That's beautiful, that is. These guys are enjoying the fact that I have shortcut penalties or anything switched on tonight.
Yeah.
Being a special event, I turned off visible car damage. I've turned off shortcut penalties. I trust these guys to do the right thing on the track and behave themselves when it comes to shortcuts. But I will be keeping an eye on them, especially as a little bit later in the race. If I see anyone jumping big sections of track, they're going to be in trouble.
Chansky and Maginot at it. Side
by
side.
Of a battle.
He's managed
a little
to
bit
clear
of battle
him.
here. 6th, 7th and 8th. So Diego, Maverick and Old Wakey have all closed up. So Diego's finally done his stop.
Yep, he did.
He's on
Black
fresh
Project's
rubber.
in. Chansky's in. Chansky's run it quite low there. Going to take a bit more time refueling that one.
So Maverick's actually played himself in a bit here, guys. He's in position number 7. And he's right on the back bumper of Diego. He's going to have a look here. He's having a look. The C9's going to have a crack at the Mazda on the outside. Oh, Diego shuts the door on him. That was brutal.
Still smartly driven by Maverick there. Not overcommitting or getting himself into a position he couldn't get out of.
The other thing too with Maverick tonight too, guys, is he's a race day stand-in as well, because that car was all but taken until early this morning. And Maverick wasn't in the seat until late this afternoon, so he's coming in here with practically no practice, and he's in the top 10 and he's looking fairly strong too, so I'm actually interested to see him running next season or this upcoming season as well.
Proves what we've known about him all along, is that he's extremely versatile and quick in anything.
Well, he's back in a more balanced car again now with the M6 as well, so
yep.
I expect to see some fairly big things from him this season.
Yep.
Gazballs currently 5th. He's just hammering out laps, Gaz. Looking after the car, staying out of trouble. He's actually very slowly making his way forward too. He's only 37 seconds off the lead at the moment.
This is a move. He's got onto obviously a string of nice laps here.
Well, he's done a 42, a 48 and a 42.
Brought himself right into play. He's only 3 seconds behind 4th place T-Jam. Fastest lap of the race so far. Still speedy tyres. Or now speedy tyres.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
37.1.
That's getting down towards... That might be faster than his quali lap, actually.
He's on his fuel light now too, with quite a lot of the circuit to go.
Well, there we go. Something else you need to consider.
This is the thing these guys need to understand too, is they go, oh yeah, I can do another lap, and then they think, actually no, I can't. And the car gets really low on fuel as the lap progresses, and suddenly you're on fuel save mode. And that 21 second gap at trim level 1 will disappear very quickly.
Doesn't look like he's saving any fuel at the moment. He's still holding on to 21, 22 seconds to Captain Muffin. But it'll be interesting to see. He's got a way to go. He's probably got about a third of the lap still to go. See if that comes down at all. Give us an indicator that he's started to save fuel.
T-Jam's impressive at the moment. Position number 4. Second to the Jaguars on the track moment behind DB007. He's only 5 seconds down the road from DB. And he hasn't stopped yet. So, I'll tell you what, long livity out of the tyres of that car. He's going to do 5 laps on those tyres. I reckon he'll pick this lap. That's a good effort.
Well, he's tried something different, and it's worked.
Where's he racing this season, T-Jam?
Good question, chat.
I'll bring up my Trello and have a bit of a bow peep while we're looking around. I do believe he's in the M4 series. Bit of a possum stomp going on there, I think. T-Jam, so he's... Oh, of course he is. He's with Team 53.
Ah, yes.
That's right, Pete with the nuclear option over there at Team 53.
The new superpower.
So he's got T-Jam and DeCapitan on his team there. 53 is going to come out of the blocks hard, I think, because they've got a very solid lineup all across the board.
100.
He's M4, exactly. He's going to M4 Group A. That's going to be a fascinating first round, that. M4 Group A. You've got stickers, you've got Dadson, SanMan, T-Jam, Bumcrack, Ghost, Filthy, Mo Jalen so far on my list for Group A.
Yeah. Fireworks, for sure. At Suzuka.
Oh, for sure.
100% turn 1, watch out.
Gonna dive in there. Oh, Gazballs has just grabbed T-Jam. Jeez, he pulled 3 seconds over that lap. T-Jam's trying to save fuel, I think. Never mind, the Jag is quick in a straight line though, far out.
So second and third place come in with identical fuel.
T-Jam's in.
And now
he's got more than they do.
Got a little bit more, yep. That strategy's paying off.
Gaz goes to effectively third now too, guys, with a 5:42.
Just keeping an eye on T-Jam here as he performs his pit. Fuel still going in. Might be, I reckon he's obviously, if he's planning on these 5 lap stints, yep, he'll fill it to the top. To overflow.
No, 2/3.
2/3?
2/3 of the tank.
Okay.
Changing up the strategy a little bit, I think.
Mm-hmm. Come out 7 seconds behind old Wakey.
Good work, Scooter. Looking forward to seeing you back on the track, mate.
Yeah, there's been a move of home by the sounds of it.
Yep. To Wellington.
Okay, so
couple of weeks yet, guys, so plenty of time. These guys are having a crack at it again. So you got Diego, you got DB007, you got old Wakey. Old Wakey's hanging in there, isn't he? Currently P8, P6,
going
sorry.
nowhere.
And he's still there with him. Oh, look at the
got a
battle
habit
in front
of
him,
doing this, doesn't he? He did it consistently through season 2.
Commentator cursed him.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
DB's applying pressure now on Diego again.
He is. They're back at it.
So there's no doubt he's got speed, DB. It's just the consistency. And that's something that could improve through the race for him once he starts to memorise more and more of the track. You'd expect all of these guys to get better as the race goes on for a period.
Sarball said check his top 3. Does he have it correct at the moment, does he? Let me have a look.
He's on it.
Speedy, Muffin, Gazballs. So Womble there with some early news there. So TJ's only with Team 53 for 1 season and he's going to RMR.
Hey.
Really?
Oh.
That's a big call.
I'll just take note of that little bit of information there. All comes in handy.
Yeah, little tidbit of information there. That's obviously based on... Whoa, Diego, did he loop it? Oh, he caught it. Slapped the wall though in the Mazda. Scratch that nice stickers paint job. Yeah, seeing we haven't even started season 3 yet, so season 4 grid definitely aren't set. So, as everybody knows, we run a 2+2 team formation here at the moment. So, 2 guys in the main series, 2 guys in the feeder series. And TOs don't know who was where until post-season 3. But obviously there's been some chats there between Red Mist Racing and Team 53, so you know, nothing against a bit of talking. If it's just talking, nothing that can be done about it at this stage. As all the TOs are well aware that nothing is official until the grid lists have been released, which they have now been done. So these guys can talk all they like about season 4.
Dobrev, let's have a look for you, Jimmy. Dobrev sitting in a 13th spot. Currently 2 minutes down on the leader. 35 seconds down on Maginot. So putting in a solid drive.
His laps are consistent.
Yeah.
He's lacking the pace of the guys up the front, but
Yeah,
you know, we expect that in this kind of event, though, don't we?
Yep.
On this kind of track,
this becomes a race of one. You know, you become a time trialer and try to improve on your last lap if you can, and every bit as enjoyable on a track like this.
And that's what we'll do throughout the stream too, guys. We've got just under an hour to go. Well, that's actually, that 15 minutes has crept away quite quickly, hasn't it? So just about an hour, just under an hour to go. So we will go up and down the grid a couple of times and keep an eye on these guys at the back, give them a bit of TV time as well, because it is a mammoth effort to sit here for an hour and a half on this circuit in one of these cars. These are a full-on car to drive. There's very little in the way of assists on them. They're very quick. They're very touchy. So for someone to step up, any one of these 14 guys on the track tonight deserves a medal to be doing this.
And just looking at him here, he's driving the car well. He's
That's
not on
smooth.
the limit. He's driving within his ability and keeping it in the middle of the track.
And the last 2 sections I've watched him go through there, he's been green on both. So he's improving on his best lap, which was lap 2, was at 5:57.529. So we'll check in on him later in the race, see how much he's got that lap time down. I expect it to be at least a couple of seconds further down than that.
And we got the crazy one in 14th, who's down by nearly 5 minutes on the leaders.
Yeah, he's a good 2/3 of a lap down now. But
yeah,
again, though, like, he's just racing himself now. He's out there for the kilometres. You know,
he will have a role to play. I would have thought at some stage here. They're now behind him rather than in front of him, and he will be traffic, and it'll be interesting how they handle that.
Exactly. That's what this race is catered to, every skill level too. So everybody in Sector 1 was encouraged to enter if you were interested. And there's the guys here at the moment that are racing for teams that they're not actually members of. There are also guys racing that don't actually race in the main series. There are some members like Shansky, currently in 11th at the moment. He's been stepped out of the driver's seat now for over a season, and he's just popped back up to do a special event. Some of these are what we refer to as legacy members. They've been around for a while and they're not currently driving, but they're still involved in the group and involved in other aspects of Sector 1, whether it is on some other games or just encouraging and helping and doing bits and pieces. Shansky, obviously, he's someone that does a lot of work behind the scenes when it comes to making some of the decals for the liveries here, getting the logos down to really, really good SVGs. He's got that knack of being able to cut down a very complex decal down to size to fit in the game. So yeah, we extended the invitation out to everybody. There's any of the members of Sector 1 that wanted to have a crack, and also it made it a bit easier for the team owners that had drivers that weren't overly keen on this sort of idea of a race. So no, this isn't everyone's cup of tea. So this gave every team the opportunity to be able to field their car, which meant that none of the livery guys had wasted their time doing these fantastic liveries as well, which is awesome to see them all out there and getting used the way it's supposed to be, getting a bit of TV time.
I keep referring to the possibilities of GT7, but how amazing would a race like this be if we had developing or real-time weather conditions and we were coming into a night period now?
Yep.
Where the lights
Or
of the
it
car
started to
start to
sprinkle with
take
rain.
over, or started to sprinkle with rain. Yep.
Actually, no, I don't want it to rain. That'd be
No,
hell for
I'd
these poor
rather it
guys.
be going into dark. A bit of night
Can you
racing would be
imagine?
nice.
Can you imagine being a third of the way around the lap with your slicks on and then suddenly it starts to rain?
Yeah, well,
That'd be a long
you'd
lap.
be crawling, yeah. And well, Diego's here's come alive. He's closed right up on the back of old Wakey. He's under a second now. He's probably got another third to half a lap before he can get to that long straight before the start-finish line, which gives most of these guys an opportunity to pass safely. But solid performance from these two guys here in 4th and 5th. Now, I did check a little while back, and DB had the gap at about 12 seconds to Captain Muffin. If we check on Captain Muffin now, it's still 11.5, so he's holding his own there.
Captain's driving really well.
He is. He is, and he's still close enough where even... Oh, here we go. Diego right in this. He's going to get a tow here. He's one mistake away from Speedy Tyres from assuming control of the race, you know. Once it's hit that... Speedy got to that 21, 22 second lead, and he's really either backed off to try to make things a little bit safer for himself, or these boys have just managed to now get their cars travelling at a speed a little bit more similar to his.
Well, Muffin's definitely not backed off. He's 1.4 seconds up on his fastest lap at the moment. He is absolutely hauling. And the other little thing too is Speedy Tyres was going to close in on the back of Kazzy in the next half a lap, I reckon. So he's going to be on him shortly. So that's something else he has to take into account. He might close up on him a lot quicker than he's expecting. I'm sure he'd be aware of him being there by now, looking at the map.
See the amount of work that's going into getting these cars around this track here. The brake lights being activated on old Wakey's cars, just little taps here and there and little corrections all the way through every corner, having to work the car. You can just imagine how exhausting this is going to get, if not already, in another 50 minutes time. I don't think we're far off the old hallucinating aspect. Get a bit of tunnel vision happening perhaps.
Speedy Tyres purple too, by the way, guys. Oh, the fan club's in. The evening fan club. Welcome to the race. You haven't missed it all yet. 50 minutes to go.
We're on board with the man at the moment.
He's currently P5 and he's looking very strong at the moment. Battling for the Mazda bragging rights here with old Wakey. These guys are the current leading pair of Mazdas.
I want to close right up here if you can. He's still about maybe 5-6 car lengths behind old Wakey.
So I was actually watching a stream with Super GT the other day, and he confirmed that the slipstream distance is 0.75 of a second.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Officially.
That's inside the second.
So he's inside that. We're at 0.6.
He's not closing in very quickly though.
No.
There might be a little bit of fuel save there from the Datsun Racing Mazda, because he's at 350. Whereas the RCLL Mazda was at 363.
Sparking
so he's actually lost a bit of time there. Yeah, she's low, isn't it? That aero ground effects there, buzzing away on the track. So this is what these guys are racing for now. This is bragging rights for the Mazda camp. Who's going to lead the Mazdas home? So DB007 has currently got the Jaguar little bragging rights thing under control, whereas you got T-Jam's currently P6 on that alternate strategy, so he's still playing himself in. The Porsche guys are obviously the guys leading, so you got Speedy Tyres, who's just went fastest again with a 5:36.997.
Oh, a move. He's made it.
Beautiful job.
Well done.
Great move. I like how decisive these moves are. They just get them in there and get them done.
Yep.
They don't hesitate. They don't run into anything. They just in and out, get it sorted.
That was very decisive. It puts him in an outright 4th.
All right, so the leader here is just about to catch Kazzy, guys, who's on his best lap, best sector at the moment as well. Keep going, mate. Just be mindful of that rear vision mirror. He's going to come up on you very quickly.
Yeah, this is the interesting part. It's keen to see how the trailing driver handled the situation, and also obviously Casey.
Job done from Casey there. Just rides the brake a little on the inside there, gets himself out of the way.
Perfect.
Beautiful work.
There'd be a sigh of relief from Speedy Tyres there.
Now just tuck in, mate, and see if you can stick with him for a lap or so.
He has got the second car, probably still another 20-odd, 25 seconds behind. So he's got plenty of time here to settle himself again.
Captain's hit the wall. Just scraped the Deeds Racing Porsche down the fence.
Nothing too major. He's only lost about a second back to DB.
Evening, Ghost. Good to see you, mate. Your race is going, mate. It's very interesting so far. Bit of a titanic battle at the top here between the leading Porsches. And we've got DB007 there currently third position in the lead Jag. And then it's the battle of the masses. So it's Diego from Old Wakey. Second of the Jags is P6. Gazball's in the third of the Porsches. So that's actually a long way back for one of the Porsches, I think. Position number 7. But he's nearly got a full tank of fuel as well. So he's playing himself in here, I think.
And this is
he's a minute off the lead.
He's done that, yeah.
He's potential for a top 5, I reckon. He might end up catching Old Wakey and Diego here because he was with them earlier in the race in that first 15 to 20 minutes.
Can we get a bit of a tyre update and fuel update on T-Jam, who's obviously running the ultimate strategy? Yeah.
Okay, so T-Jam's just under a quarter of a tank at the moment, and his tyres are about a quarter of the way done.
Okay,
so
sort of
tyre wear is an issue now for that car. These things here, when they drop just under a quarter, they look like they get fairly choppy, so he'd be losing pace now.
He got 5 laps, I think it was, out of his first stint in there, and then he didn't fully fill, so we'd expect him in either this lap, this lap. Yep.
It depends on how far he wants to try and run. The tyres are going to be the question mark now. He's got enough fuel for another lap, but whether he wants to run around on worn tyres again, because he is losing time to Gazballs, who's on better tyres and way more fuel. And then you got Maverick leading the way for the Mercedes guys. It's only a 2-car race, the Mercedes race, unfortunately. Still surprises me that idea. I can't believe there's only 2 C9s on the grid.
He's not that far off the back of Gazballs here at 4.5 seconds.
He's very low on fuel too.
This is the back end of what we'd call probably the lead group, and then we've got a bit of a split back of about 45 seconds to Black Project, Jimmy Superfly, Shansky, Magenet. And as we saw earlier on, Debrev and the crazy one.
So where is Muffin's about to come into the pits, I reckon, on this lap here. It's 30 seconds to Captain Muffin from Speedy Tyres now, who's on the fuel lot as well. He just went faster again with a 36.997.
Okay, broken into the 36s for the first time.
You psycho.
That's the wrong with you. Fastest lap of the night, including quali.
Well, they've got less fuel than they had in qualifying now because their cars are now way low on fuel. Captain Muffin, I think, is going to try and consolidate second here quite comfortably now. Because DB007 has just lost it at the carousel into the fence.
DB again, that's the third time now.
It just come into the carousel too late. High centered on the middle there. He just caught that middle bit on the crest of the concrete there. And lifted the back wheels, got off the ground, and went around she went. Everyone's scared of the C9,
yeah.
I agree with you there, Ghost. C9 is the big daddy of these cars. A bit extreme.
Speedy's in.
We're getting a fascinating race here now, just for bragging rights and different manufacturers, though, which is awesome to see. So I expect Captain in too, and he comes. So that's not going to change. I mean, Casey's going to zip back past Speedy. Thanks for coming, he says. I think.
Going to have to deal with him again.
Oh, no. Speedy cleared him. Captain Muffin's back is still behind him, though, because he's still in the pits. DB's still in the pits as well. Diego comes in. I expect they'll wake in as well. In he comes. Now, T-Jam with Gazballs here. Under pressure. Oh, Gaz with that extra grip. Just straight past T-Jam into the pits.
Be interesting to see how much fuel T-Jam gets into that car.
Yeah, I'm going to watch this one now, see what it is. So fresh tyres are on, obviously. In goes the fuel. I love the way that car looks. It's such a good looking livery. He's nailed that. That's one of the Womble liveries.
So 3/4 fuel again by the looks of it.
Yep, back to 3/4.
And we've got Gazballs, who's in really an outright fifth now.
Yeah, he's got bucket loads of fuel on board. He's
Only
got over half tank
behind
fuel
Diego.
still.
I think we were in a similar position last stint. He's within visual distance of Diego. He can see him on the longer straights.
I think Diego will drift away a little bit now because he's on fresh rubber. But he's actually in within 2.3 seconds of DB007 as well. So Diego is actually in with a fairly good chance of a podium here. Because he's been fairly clean this race still.
Yep.
Whereas DB's been having quite a few little issues here and there. He's very quick. But just those little issues where it just gets sideways and grabs the grass.
3 so far, so he's not in complete control of that car.
That's correct, the fan club, they certainly do. Just some of these camera angles, you see them coming through here at 250, 300k an hour, and they just turn the corner like it's nothing. As DB drops the wheel off the road again there.
So Sean might be able to confirm this for us, but these are the cars that were known for that ground effect stuff, is it? Those sideboards, which create that vacuum-like effect to the track. Something which I think they outlawed out of Formula One pretty quick smart once they started to do it. An accidental discovery of the old sideboards and that vacuum effect.
They look cool anyway, and they sound
do.
awesome. They sound like proper race cars, which is always a good start.
Absolutely.
Alright, Kazzy does another great job there to get out of the way of the Muffin Man too. Great job, Kazzy. I love seeing that sort of thing. The sportsmanship there from the guy that is, not having the best of nights. He's 6 minutes off the lead. He's over a lap down now, doing his own thing. Sees one of the fleet cars.
Mate, is that it's not an easy thing to do.
It's not.
To keep the car on track and try to figure a way where the car behind you can get through as safely as possible, as quickly as possible. It's not easy to do.
No, it's not.
Got to have full awareness of what's happening at the time, and every time you see a guy like that do it, I see why you get enjoyment from it, because it takes a little bit of skill to get it done right.
It does. And that's the thing too, like when you're, as far back as Kaz is at the moment, and you're not having the best of nights and you're off the pace, and you see these guys doing miracle laps like 5:36.97. You're doing, his best lap at the moment is a 6:18.4, which is 15 seconds faster than the last time we checked in on him, so good to see. But you see that sort of thing happening, and it's easy to get down in the dumps and, I don't want to do this, this is silly. But he's out there, he's doing laps, he's getting the car, keeping the car straight and narrow. Team 53's car's on the track still, which is awesome to see. Bit of time for the sponsors on the screen. Getting it done. And staying out of the way too, which is awesome, because the last thing you want to do when you're getting lapped is tangle with one of the leaders and potentially affect the outcome of the race.
It's a horrible feeling. I think I got in the way of one Wardo season 1. What are you saying?
DB just tail tapped the wall again. He's having a heck of a time in that Jag at the moment.
Now he's managed with the last two incidents. Yeah, look, he's only lost a further second. He's 13 seconds behind Captain Muffin now. So that gap is only opened up by a further second.
He's pulled a second on Diego too over this lap so far, as he's about to catch Kazzy, who sees him coming. Saw the tail lights come on already. He's going to try and get out of the way through YouTube here somewhere. Almost. He just caught the grass and flicked the nose in. So now DB's going to slip past on the inside. There he goes. Great bit of awareness from both drivers.
Next in line, Diego. Needs to deal with the lap traffic. He'll close up really, really quickly here.
He's closing quickly too. Wow, he's closing quickly.
Yep.
Don't get too cute there, Diego. You're going to run out of road.
See, there we go. That's the hard part, keeping it on track. But he got right out of the way.
Diego did close up really quick then too. He caught him a couple seconds in a couple hundred metres, so... Ghost says ground effect 900 horsepower, 400 k's on the Mulsanne straight, not an electrical aid in sight, massive brass ones required.
100%. That or very little upstairs, one or the other.
These ones are capped a little bit under that. They're obviously not tuned, and they're not full power minimum weight or anything silly. So these ones here are around 360. We've seen the Jags do 360 in the slipstream, whereas the other cars are about 355. As Gazballs just wanders all over the track coming down the main straight.
What have we got? Gazballs now. He's 7 seconds. So Diego's managed to pull.
Yeah, Gaz is
3 seconds away.
Running out of rubber at the moment, and he's actually got Old Wakey closing in. So
he does
quickly too, very quickly. He just pulled a second over the distance of the straight.
Gazballs in with half a tank. So maybe just a tyre switch here.
Let's see, tyres and
just
go.
tyre.
Yeah, no fuel for Gaz. Interesting. So he's going to come back up behind Old Wakey. You watch the difference in this Porsche now. This thing's going to be very quick with fresh rubber on it.
It's
Maverick,
interesting strategy.
still holding on to the 10. Maverick's 8th, still holding on to the top 10. He's fueled. He's done all right. Solid run.
Along with
Jimmy
T-Jam.
Superfly as well. He's position number 9 at the moment, Jimmy. So after that pre-race gremlin, he's kept himself in the straight and narrow. He's on a 5:49. It's his best lap so far. And looking fairly solid. Car's looking a little bit worn out for tyres, and the fuel's about a quarter of a tank. So I reckon we may see him in this run round. Black Project behind him on fresh rubber and just under half a tank of fuel. So different strategy again from that car. He's running that car awfully light. He's in the 10 though, so he'd be pretty happy with that, I think. Who else have we got back here? So Shansky in the Porsche for Aussie Hampton Racing, currently 11th. He's done a 5:47.8, so he's done a good lap. Maginot there. A good seat. In he goes. Maginot now is in 12th. One of the many Mazdas on the field in the field tonight. He's on a 5:52.4, which was his second lap round. He's another guy that's just raced himself at the moment. He's 20 seconds off the back of Shane Scott. And into the fence.
Start again.
Whoops.
Debrev.
And Debrev there. How's he looking? So he's done a 5:54 now. So he's pulled another 3 seconds out of his lap time so far. So he's going all right at the moment. It's going in the right direction. Good to see. Because last time we checked on him, he was doing 5:57s. So he's put another 3 seconds out.
Yeah, the crazy one's got. He's got
Maverick
behind him here. Yep.
That's why not. He's tapped him. Maverick's giving him a serve.
Okay, he's giving him a little nudge here. He's got right out of the way. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's one of those tricky parts on the track there. You need to
That's
try
the
and read each other's minds, you know. I'll go left, you go right, and you get that crossed, and you both go right, and you both go left, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, very narrow, unsighted entry there. So he's come in there a little bit hotter than he thought that Kazi was going. A lot hotter. Caught him up way too quick, and then just didn't have anywhere to go. Just served him up.
Okay, Captain Muffin's had another little incident with the wall there. That gap has now dropped to below 12 seconds to DB. So those two are going wall scrape for wall scrape at the moment. And that gap is staying constant at around 12. Diego. It's now cleared away a bit from Old Wakey. 8 seconds, only 9 seconds ahead of Old Wakey. And Gazballs, who's been sort of the quiet achiever tonight, he's now
He's there.
Yeah.
He's still there.
Only 2 seconds behind Wakey.
Gazballs is effectively in the battle for fourth here still, because Diego's got that 8 second gap, but he's got way less fuel on board than Old Wakey and Gazballs.
Okay,
so he's short-filled that last stop to try and give himself to track position. I think it was to try to get himself closer to DB and maybe grab all the back of the Jag, but hasn't quite worked out for him. So now he's got the pedal to the metal, trying to get as much of a gap here as he can to try and save his back end of the race here with 33 minutes to go. So we're just over a third of the way to go, and then we're home free.
Yeah. Yep, almost 2/3 of the way through.
This is where the fatigue's really going to start creeping in on these guys, because this is an unrelenting circuit. These cars are really hard to drive, and the mistakes are going to start creeping in. They're a little bit wide on exit, grab the grass, and you're sideways down the track at 200k an hour. Leads to a big crash.
Or it can go the other way too, I suppose, where you go ultra sort of safe and you start to stick to the middle of the black stuff a bit too much.
Exactly.
And time starts to drop
slowing
away.
up.
Yeah.
Yep. And suddenly the guy behind you that's a little bit fresher still pushing really hard. He's gaining a second and a half per sector.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because this is a long track too, so you pick up time very quickly.
Now he's not close enough here to do anything about his position at the moment on this back straight. It's under 2 seconds though, 1.9, 1.8 to Old Wakey. He's not far off it, Gazballs here, and as you say, clearly in a fight for a top 4 finish.
And the Porsche is quick in a straight line too, so it might close up a bit on the Mazda along the straight. The Mazda's a little bit slower than the other guys along the front straight here, I've noticed. Sort of settles around 355 and then just sort of hits a wall. What's Gaz's Porsche like? The Porsche's pretty quick, I believe. Don't count out TJ either. He's only 6.7 seconds behind these guys as well in the Jag, and the Jag's awfully quick.
And he did it his way, right from the beginning. He was the one that decided to pull that mega long initial stint of 5 laps and played himself into this race well and truly. With
the half an hour to go too, so it might bounce out towards him where he might not have to stop an extra time with the rest of these guys do. So we'll just keep an eye on that. He's just gone his fastest lap of the race too. He just did a 5:43.599.
Maverick's in with a third of a tank still.
Just part of that fatigue too. The guys are tending to pit a lot more often now too because the car feels like it's getting slippy and old, and you know, you've done, what are they on now? They're on their 11th lap, so that's a long distance to be travelling at this kind of pace. The car starts to feel wrong.
Well, we're officially
the tyres
up
feel
over
more worn.
220 k's travelled now. It's a considerable distance. Just trying to think, have we ever run further than 90 minutes before? I think this is the first time we may have run 90 minutes.
The special event for last season in the Group 1 cars at Le Mans was 2 hours.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And that was hell.
Did you race?
Even on I did. 2 hours on a dual shock driving the...
oh my gosh.
What was it? What was I driving? The Porsche, I think. Womble. Who invited Gaz back anyway? He just can't wander back in and beat his old team.
No, Womble. Gaz does what he wants.
He's doing it, Womble. He's beating his old team at the moment by 8.5 seconds. Oh, that was a good shot too, watching it fly through there. He's actually gone way back home to a time before you were involved in Sector 1, mate. He's back here driving at the moment with... old mate Pruski, who was on board at Brock Balls back in the day. Right back in the day. Mm-hmm. Season 1 we're talking about here. So Brock Balls back then was put together between... what was it? Brock Balls and another team merged and became Vortec, didn't they? Mm-hmm. So it was Cyborg and Gaz Balls in the top tier cars, and it had Pruski and I think it was... who was that?
You've got me.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember who it was.
I can tell you that DB's managed to... Goodmond. There we go. Blast from the past.
Yep.
We have good call. DB's managed to snip away, and he's closed the gap by 2 seconds in on Captain Muffin in second place.
He's fast over the race with a 5:37.990 as well, so he's found a bit of late pace, old DB. As we start talking about him, he's probably going to spin it again because we're commentator Kurt's on point tonight.
That's what we do.
Oh, excuse me, coughing there, guys.
Gazballs is down a 1.5, 1.3 to Old Wakey, so he's still closing in, inch by inch.
He's got better rubber than the Mazda in front, but the fuel load is lighter in the Porsche.
That could give him an upper hand down that straight again.
Well, he's getting awfully close to slipstream distance now.
Yep.
He's got another quarter of the track to go
Might
before you
come
hit that back
to him,
straight.
Yep, we might come back to him when they get that section of the track. Jimmy Superfly, 2.5 minutes off the lead. Currently sitting 1.5, 1.5 seconds ahead of Black Project, the driver for Blacklight. Those two have been pretty close to each other pretty much the whole race. You know what? I'm still quite impressed as to how close to each other these guys are. I really expected the spreading out to be. Whoa!
Yeah, he just made a quick move around Kazzy there as well. Jimmy did.
Done.
Got it done. Black Project's going to try and get around him as well. Over the hill, gets around him on the outside.
Get around the outside.
Great awareness again there from Kazzy to get himself out of the way. And Shaneski's not far behind him either in the Porsche for Aussie Hampton. He's a further 4 seconds back. But that's not a lot in the grand scheme of things.
No.
Speedy Tiger's in from the lead, by the way, guys. So I'm just going to go up and have a quick look at this.
He was holding a lead of about 40 seconds to Captain Muffin prior to that stop.
27 minutes to go.
Fair whack of fuel going in here.
He'd need to get back here on a full tank, I reckon, wouldn't he?
Yep.
No, he didn't feel it. He's going to pit again. He's just playing with them.
He is. Well, he's just got the overall pace at the moment. He's lapping consistently, probably about a second and a half, 2 seconds faster than the next fastest bloke, without seemingly needing to push too hard. So he's got this race under control here. Takes something pretty drastic for him to lose it from here.
No, we have seen it happen before.
We have.
Unfortunate disconnects and that really awkward parts of the race.
Don't even say it, dude. Shush.
Steve B's in as well.
Yep.
Yeah, he got awfully close to fuel, but he's in. Captain Muffin's out again. So Diego's in as well. So I expect to see Gazballs here make up a couple of spots maybe as he enters the front straight now. He's staying fourth, but he's going to get. These guys are going to get back out in front of him, I think. DB clears him just. Hold on to the back of him, Gaz. Stay with him.
So DB's behind Wakey here, and he's lost a substantial amount of time to Captain Muffin.
DB has full field, guys.
Okay.
He's going to roll the dice for the end in the Jag. 25 minutes on one tank. He's going to do it. So he's not stopping again. Whereas Captain Muffin has gone just over half a tank, and Speedy Tires is just over half a tank. So DB is going to roll the dice to run to the end. This is big. If he can make this work, he's effectively second on the road because he'll grab Captain.
Well, he's going to try and pull the move straight away on old Wakey here.
Oh, they touched.
They did.
Oh, Wakey had none of that, did he? He's held him right up there. He's like, nah, you want to do it? You do it the hard way, mate. Oh, finally we get to see some racing. This is awesome.
Especially
look at
this
this.
late on in the piece.
Exactly. It's bringing Gazballs into this equation as well. He's catching them up. He'll be loving this.
Well, this is
a bit of a free kick for him.
Beautifully right here.
This has drama written all over it though, because DB's so much faster through there. He doesn't know where to go. And then the Mazda gets out of the blocks and runs. Actually, Diego's not far behind as well. He's 2.8 seconds off Gazballs and closing in as well.
In the distance, yep.
This is hurting DB's race. But he's got to be careful too, because if he wants to try and get home on that tank with the tyres on the car without stopping again, he's got to be careful not to overdrive the car.
So is old Wakey owing us a stop still?
That is correct. He's a bit of a cork in the bottle at the moment. Gazballs is yet to stop as well. Diego has stopped, but he's got a lightish fuel load on board.
Okay. So really, DB the only one who's got an opportunity to run all the way to the end here.
T James just pitted as well, and he's got just on 2/3 of a tank in the car as well, and fresh tyres on 24 minutes to go. He might be able to make that on his fuel usage numbers because he's been really good on fuel. I reckon he's got a trim setting in.
Maybe the smart play here for DB is not to pass old Wakey.
Yeah, just set the trim up.
Save
like
as much as he
2
can.
2 or 3 and just potter around. But that's trying to tell a race driver not to be a race driver, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. But old Wakey's speed has been consistent. He's not been ultra fast, but he's been consistent. And any fuel he can save now, he can then use.
Background. Diego's lost it. That was huge.
Try and get a replay of that.
I just caught that in the background of that shot of the 3 cars fighting.
He's run it wide. And then it just completely did the 360. Could have been worse, I suppose. Not sure
Gaz is putting pressure on DB here. This is hotting up. This is the problem. I think if DB didn't have Gazballs right in his back bumper, he'd be more inclined to sit and wait.
Yeah, no, but the pressure's coming. Yep.
That extra pressure from Gazballs right behind him won't be enough to make him make the move.
They're just in this section of the track here where pulling it past is just so difficult, if not
it's
impossible.
It's fast through here too. It's very fast. You've got to be inch perfect too. Dropping a wheel off through here is just bad news all day.
Get an update on TJ shortly here, Womble. I am keen to see how he is travelling down there in 7th and where his strategy's got him at right now.
Well, he's just pitted. This lap just gone, and he's just on 2/3 of a tank of fuel. So
might see him home. Well, that's what
I think we'll see him home.
Yep,
because he's been good on saves, so he might sneak home on that fuel. So he might still get Diego on that when they pit again.
The action's definitely here between these guys in 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Gazballs is backed off because he's almost out of fuel here. He's probably overextended a little bit there trying to keep up. Sean straight in the chat and saw the big spin there and goes, yep, nasty corner that one. Apparently it's called
been
bird
around
work.
there before. Yep.
DB's just lifted a little bit here. He's just backed off. He's getting old wakey slip away a little bit. I think that's probably the smart move now that Gazballs is out of the equation a bit. You know, just ease up a little bit because you do not want to put your car in the fence and you do not want it facing backwards in the sand. Because you look at like a 20-second gap, but if you spin and end up in the sand and a dead stop, especially if you're facing the wrong way, it's going to take you 25-30 seconds to get the car back up to pace. And in that amount of time, the guy that's closing it behind you at 250k an hour is going to be all over you very quickly.
This will be his first legit chance here to get past him.
The move will be along the straight here. He'll just make it move just before the hump. He's tucked right in behind.
That Mazda's pulling away. DB's on the fuel save.
He's saving a bit, isn't he? He's at 347 and the Mazda's pulling away at 356 on the limiter. Oh, that sounds so cool. Listen to it. Wailing away there, the 2.6 litre. Into the pits it goes.
The pits. Oh, that was the smart play.
That pit entry is savage, isn't it?
Not much room for error, is there? Let's see. I'll quickly have a quick look at their leader again, who's just simply dominated this race from the very beginning. Now, he's 43 seconds ahead, and that's starting to get into that sort of area where he can afford to make a pretty serious mistake and still be okay.
You could park and have a coffee and be okay, I think.
And he should be proud of himself here. He's taken on some pretty quality opposition here, and he's knifed them all. He slayed the field.
It's so cool to see somebody. Says a different name, like Speedy. We know he's quick. Main series, he hasn't quite been up on the pointy end of the championship or the results with some of the big names up there.
He's been in that second battle, hasn't he?
Yeah. So it's good to see someone like him pop up and really stamp his authority on a race like this, because it always shows good signs of what the upcoming championship might look like.
And you could only think that this is going to just give him heaps of confidence.
Absolutely.
Knowing that he can beat guys like DB and Gazballs and Diego, that's just got to be a big positive for you.
And you got that noticeable absence tonight of the Cyborg.
Of course.
I know a lot of people are keen to see the Cyborg drive one of these. He's like, nah, thank you. I think I'll be fine. But looking at the trailer at the moment, they've got Speedy Tyres is ranked number 3 for Group A of M6 GT for next season. So he's only in front of him. He's got the Cyborg and TX3 GDR at the moment. Expect DB007 to be up there as well.
Just get excited just thinking about it already.
Yeah, she's going to be. We say this every season, but it's going to be a good run, I think.
Red hot. I think though we do have the situation where the 5-time might not be there for the first round. Is
He's
that
not in
correct?
Group A. No, not for round 1.
Okay.
He's away on holidays, so he'll be starting out of Group B.
Yep.
Which, as we've seen, as long as you don't miss too many rounds, it's not a big deal because you finish strong in Group B.
Yeah, you're up there next round.
Where you sort of expect the 5-time champ to be up the pointy end of Group B.
Yep.
And then you're back in Group A for round 2, so it's not a huge issue. Even for a 6-round championship, we just don't want to. You don't want to see it more than once.
An unexpected second round, something have come up, and then that's pretty much season over then.
But the good thing for him is he's going to be on the track for round 1. He'll be in the second tier, but he'll be there.
Yeah.
So you'll still get points. It's better than not being available for the whole round, which is just catastrophic, as we saw with DB007 for last season. Yeah. He missed the first 3 races of the season just due to a clash with something else. And not being available.
Can we get a fuel and tyre update on Diego?
Sure thing. So Diego is on about a third of a tank of fuel, and tyres are looking a-okay, even though they're probably a little bit hexagonal after that big lose. He's actually hauling on too. He's just almost a second on his best lap. So he's picked up the pace a little bit here at the end of the race.
Is he getting to the end on that fuel load though? Probably not.
I doubt it.
No. So we'd have to squeeze another 3 laps out. Not going to happen.
He's on the same fuel amount as the 2 litres.
Okay.
So Speedy Tyres is the lowest amount of fuel in their field at the moment. He's just on a quarter of a tank now, but he could stop another. Oh, he's off. He can stop another 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first one we've caught. Yep.
He just got spat off at the carousel there. He went a bit wide and it just up over the hump in the middle and threw him off.
Well, these boys are 260 kilometres in now. You cannot blame them for the odd error.
He was on purple sector too for that lap. He was 0.8 of a second up on his fastest lap, which would have been disgusting. It would have been a 5:35, maybe. Very close to 5:35.
Just quietly though, stellar drive from Captain Muffin here.
Yep.
He's now 23 seconds ahead of DB, and that's a further 10 seconds on what he had just one stint ago.
Yep.
He's putting in a cracking drive here.
This guy's the real deal too. Come up out of community for last season into the Deeds Racing M3. Basically walked the season after his main competition was out by round 3, and just walked home for the rest of the season. And he showed the maturity of a future champion too. In that, and where he didn't actually win a lot of the races towards the end, did he? He sort of did what he needed to do to secure points, kept himself in the straight and narrow, and looked after the car, and just got decent results, enough points to keep himself up the pointy end.
Really hasn't done much wrong, has he?
No.
And he's showing all the signs of somebody who's going to be a big player in Season 3. Diego, we've already discussed. Those as a stop. Old Wakey behind him.
He's fueled to the end.
Old Wakey's fueled to the end, as I'm assuming is Gaz Balls.
Oh, Gaz, just... hold on to it, son. He just lost that big catch-up he had there. Yeah, he just lost about 2 seconds. He'd be steaming about that, I reckon.
Now, we need a check on T-Jam. I think we mentioned what was
just checking him
going
now.
on.
So T-Jam has got just over a quarter of a tank of fuel with 15 minutes to go. I think that's going to be borderline for him. He may make it, he may not. It's hard to say. I'll look at his terminal speed at the bottom of the straight to see whether he's back at full power or not. He might have just cut the mustard here, and he's going to chuck it in for a stop, I think, because he's at 350. Yeah, he's at full pace. So he's no slipstream, and he's pushing. So he's not going to make it on that number there at that kind of pace. I reckon he'll be slipping in for a quick stop. He's 6 seconds back to Maverick, who owes us a stop as well. So I think he's pretty safe to stay to stay 7th or better. That's T-Jam.
Really hard to plan a strategy around a race like this. I mean, it's not often you're going to put in a 90-minute practice race, is it? To see exactly
well, some of the guys did apparently.
Really?
Psychos. Yeah. Speedy Tyre said he did a practice run. I don't know whether he meant a full length one or not. If he did, he's... But that said, though, look how far up the road he is. So
exactly. Maverick in, he's got
paid off
himself half a tank of fuel, which should see him through to the end. That's a solid 8th. He's been sitting in that 8th position pretty much from the start. He's 16 seconds behind Toe Jam and another...
a minute and a half back to Black Project.
So he's the back end of that lead group. And on a late call-up, taking on the number 24, I think he's done a stellar job.
Yep. Lead Mercedes home too, out of the 2 cars that are on the track. So you can't argue with that. It's a pretty solid effort.
Yep.
Top 10 is something to be sneezed at in this field. So anybody in the 10 should be pretty happy with their day. As Black Project's just had another issue there because he's dropped back behind Jimmy Superfly now, who's going to fly and pass on better rubber. So Black Project's going to be looking to hold on to the back of the top 10 here. But 3 seconds behind is Shansky, and he's closing in the Porsche.
So Shansky only 3.5 seconds behind Black Project at this stage, where we're looking probably at another 3 laps for these guys. Yep. I'll get another 3 in.
Oh dear. Casey's about to get lapped by position 13.
Dobrev.
That'd be a tough thing to have to deal with, I think.
Yeah, like we said from the start, I think you can't waver from that.
No, that's it.
He's driving his own race. Keep doing it. He's done a stellar job of getting out of the way of the lead drivers. He's going to make room for another one here.
Oh dear.
Well,
Just wasn't enough room to get 2 cars through there, and Dobrev just sort of gave him a little bit of a nudge just to let him know, look mate, I'm coming through whether you like it or not.
it's eventually happened.
Shanty's on the DS4 still too, driving this thing.
Yuck.
Psycho. Something wrong with you. Well, I won't be upset if you beat Black Project then, mate, and get yourself into the top 10, because that is a stellar effort on a DS4.
I think there might be a slight chance of Crazy One going 2 laps down to Speedy, but let's not worry about that too much. Oh, whoa, Speedy's had an off. Just
Whoops.
rejoining now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to grab that as a replay. Let's have a look. All pretty at the moment, and yep, just grabbed a bit too much grass on the outside.
That's that fatigue kicking in.
Bat him out into the gravel. Yep, that's exactly right.
So him and Captain Muffin are both on the fuel light now, so they're going to be in this lap. DB does not need to stop. He's at over half a tank with 10 minutes to go. So he's on go time now.
Oh, Muffin, big mistake. Big mistake.
Oh, big lose.
Oh, no.
Huge lose.
He's turned it all the way around, spun it twice, 720.
He's got away with that, didn't he? That's
Damage?
critical for P2. No damage.
No damage. Lucky.
That's critical for P2 though, because that's dropped that gap to 19 seconds. And DB's not going to pit. If he is, he's only going to take tyres.
Just a little bit late on that one. Okay, well that lead is now, the Muffin lead over DB is down to 12 seconds.
12 seconds, yeah.
So he lost 8 seconds out of that. And we were talking about him needing a further pit stop as Speedy comes in on fumes.
Speedy's on fumes. Captain's not much better off for fuel. And then DB's got half a tank. So he may still stop DB and put tyres on because his tyres are looking pretty average. But he's going to close up with that no fueling thing. He's going to pull another 3 or 4 seconds in on Captain Muffin. The pressure will be on the Muffin then because you'll see that gap coming down.
Yep.
And that's where it starts, the little bit in the back of your head going, that guy's catching me. And you try and go a little bit quicker. And because you're fatigued and it's been a long race, you're prone to mistakes and you're trying to push that hard. So the same issue here for Diego as well. He knows he's light on fuel. He's not going to make it home on what he's got. He's got to go in. Old Wakey, half a tank of fuel. His tyres are negligible. He might be able to make it home on the rubber he's got. He won't be quick at the end, but track position is key.
Captain in now, Captain Muffin. There's just no way knowing that these guys are seeing the track as clearly or being able to react as quickly as they were at the start of the race. Unless you're consistently driving 90-minute races and your brain's tuned into that length of time, it just can't be done. So I'd expect at least 1 or 2 more of these incidents were starting to creep in.
T-Jam's closing on the Gazball very quickly here because Gazball's is fuel saving. T-Jam's not. He's going to pit in a second, T-Jam. So he's just trying to get that track position caught up. He's just pulled 1.5 seconds out of the back straight. He's into the pits now. This will be him home. This car will be light and fast on the way home now too.
Okay, so DB's pulled another lap here, and it's 4 seconds, but on fresh rubber.
Yeah.
Captain's pulling.
I think
away.
Captain's got away with it. If he doesn't get it, if he doesn't fall for the road, he should be okay here because DB's not got the rubber to fight him now. They got as close as 4 seconds, which is pretty phenomenal considering.
So just maybe a brief rundown here, Doc, on the manufacturer positionings.
Okay, so obviously the battle of the Porsches, we've got Speedy Tyres leading the way from Captain Muffin, so they're 1-2 in the Porsche camp. First of the Jags is DB007 out of position number 3. Old Wakey currently leading the Mazda battle, position 4. He's actually jumped Diego there as he's gone through the pits, like I said. But Diego's on fresh rubber and 4.4 seconds back.
Might have to keep an eye on that one, yep.
And Maverick there's leading the Mercedes battle at the moment of the 2 cars in the Mercedes camp. He's currently position number 8, so he's snuck it into the top 10. He's been there most of the race. Looking pretty comfortable.
I think
he's only 2 seconds off the back of T-Jam as well, so there might be a bit of a race between these two at the end.
So we've got a potential bit of a battle between Maverick and T-Jam, and the other one was Gaz Balls, I believe.
Yep.
On Diego as possible, although 7 seconds there.
Shansky's actually jumped Black Project Dark 7 now as well, and he's in the 10 on a DS4 after an hour and 43 minutes of racing.
Well done, mate.
An hour and 23 minutes of racing, sorry.
Completes his 14th lap. Kicks out his 15th, which is officially going to be 300 kilometres travelled.
So the battles on track now will be Old Wakey versus Diego for Mazda Honours. There's 3.5 seconds the gap now. Which is an intriguing battle, actually. It's actually 3.2 now, so Diego's pulling everything out to close quickly.
It's down to 3.29. So he's boogieing.
Yeah, and that's going to be getting to Old Wakey. He'll be able to see that on the Christmas tree down the side of his telemetry going. He's closing in quickly. You can see him now too.
3 seconds.
And it's 1.9 seconds between T-Jam and Maverick. So Maverick's got the bit in his teeth now in the Sauber. Can he catch the Jag? That'll be an interesting finish to the race as well. These guys have been throwing slobber knockers at each other previously as well. So
two potential changes in position there late in the race after 300 kilometres. Pretty impressive. We've got 5 minutes to go, which is essentially a further lap.
Diego just lost it. That's it. It's over.
Who did?
Diego just looped it.
He must have recovered it damn quick.
He's just lost 4.5 seconds to Old Wakey. That's the chop out he needed. He lost it before the carousel.
Oh, there he goes. Fairly front-on contact to the fence. Could have some engine damage there.
Hold on to it, mate. Hold on to it. Oh, he's lost his concentration now. He's all over the place at the moment. Just need to back it off a little bit. Get your bearings back. Calm yourself down. 5th position is nothing to be sneezed at in this race as it is. But he cannot afford to throw it off the road again because Gazballs is there.
Yep. Just have another quick check of the Maverick battle here. See if he's managed to pull back any more time. Still 2.5 seconds, Maverick to T-Jam.
T-Jam's starting to extend
he's
now.
Responded.
He's just got the car up to pace. Yep. Oh, there's little races within the race. It's great to see. Captain Muffin's accelerated that gap out to 11.4 seconds now.
Really settled. Yeah, no, once he came out on the fresher rubber, he had him covered.
Yeah, he's gone. He's totaled. Off he goes. Looks like Speedy Tyres is going to catch Kazi again.
So,
I think.
Plenty of information to come out of a race like this leading into Season 3. The performance of Speedy Tyres is an eye-opener. Same with Captain Muffin.
Yep.
I think Gazball's return has been solid without being spectacular, but, you know, we're obviously talking a track we won't be racing at and cars we won't be racing in, but good sort of little bash for him to sort of clear some cobwebs and probably perform maybe even slightly better than we expected him to.
Yep. So just on that too, guys, driver of the day needs to start thinking about that now with 3 minutes 25 seconds remaining of the race. DB's in the pits, he's run out of rubber.
Okay. So
not really going to affect
end.
much, I don't think. Didn't put fuel in, so it's not going to really affect much of the race.
No,
He'll come out.
Well ahead
Oh,
of
Wakey, you look like you'll catch up for a bit, but then you'll go, hang on, never mind. As the fresh rubber on the Jaguar warms up, he's just going to drive away. Yeah, look, at the moment, I'm looking right at Captain Muffin. He's showing these guys, there's warning signs across the bow of these established GT races. This kid, he's here to play into Group B, so him and the Cyborg will be going at it for round 1, which will be very interesting to watch. Actually, I'm quite looking forward to watching that.
There's no doubt about that. As we said a little earlier, Captain Muffin's one of those guys that hasn't done a single thing wrong since he started in Sector 1, and he just keeps, well, you could say improving. It's hard to say when you don't really know too much about a guy, but to me it looks like he's still improving, which has brought him right to the pointy end of, could easily be seeing top 5 finishes from him in the top tier in Sector 1, Season 3. Wouldn't be surprising at all.
It's that dream run, isn't it? It's community into BMW into the top tier in 3 seasons. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
That's the dream run. We've only ever seen that happen a couple of times.
Yep.
Where a couple of guys have stepped up out of community straight up.
Ghost is mentioning there for his driver of the day, Old Wakey, hasn't he got a habit of doing this?
Absolutely. Yep.
He's making a habit of top-end finishes without drawing too much attention even during the race.
He's a bit of the old hijacker in him, doesn't he? Like the big quiet achiever that just sort of sneaks up there and just sort of goes about his business. He was under pressure there, especially in this last sector of the race here with Diego closing in quickly. And he kept his bearings, and it got to the point where Diego was pushing so hard that he bottled it. So now he's comfortably 7 seconds clear, so he can afford just to lift a little bit now and just cruise around for this lap and finish the race. And 4th position, lead Mazda, bragging rights for the rest of the season. I'm the fastest 787 out there, guys. With
a minute to go, I think we rejoin our leader here as he's about halfway to 2/3 through his final lap. I think this will be his final lap.
Yeah, I don't think any of them are going to get any further around than this. I think this is actually going to finish perfectly for these guys. He's 0.7 of a second up on his fastest lap. He's trying to do a Brock here and go faster on the final lap.
Yeah,
that's dangerous for a 5:35. He's got no fuel left in it at all. Fresh rubber, and he's just pushing as hard as he can. Imagine if he ran out of fuel.
I don't think we could question his concentration levels during our standard season races, could we? I think he proves tonight that he's mentally capable of driving out the required distance, no worries.
Absolutely. This is a big gauntlet he's throwing out to the establishment too, saying that he's here and he's ready to have a crack at it again.
Well, he's essentially what you'd describe as a number 2 driver.
Yep.
In his current team, but he's putting his hand up saying, hang on a minute. Might not be the case. There may be a bit of jostling for position in the garage there as to who gets the preferential treatment, so to speak.
It's been a clean final lap from him too at the moment. Hasn't put a foot wrong. And it's fast too. It's very fast. As he turns onto the straight, we're going to get a split time here.
Oh, he's gone a bit wide there.
He's got
way to gather it. Car control, as
he's still up.
Dongo would say.
He's still up too. He's still half a second up on his fastest lap, so it's going to be a very low 36.
It might cost him all the way up the straight though.
Yeah.
Probably needed a better run out of that last corner to challenge for fastest lap.
Yeah, he's lost 0.2 of a second down the straight, so it's going to be a mid 36 at this stage, which is a phenomenal lap. Final lap, final turn, he's going to do it.
Either way, fantastic race.
Lights to flag, great job.
Give the man a hand, great win. Fantastic.
He backed off at the end and did a bit of showing off. All right, and the Muffin Man exits the second carousel on the run into the straight. Been a really good effort from him tonight as well.
Eye-opening performance, absolutely.
Yep. He's just showing these guys easier to race. So M6 Championship, you guys need to watch the positions because he'll be there.
Absolutely. The list of names in that top group is a special list of names, but he's added his name to it.
Absolutely.
Couple of corners to go now for a podium finish in what has been, surprisingly, I'm going to say, quite an enjoyable 90-minute race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be the first to admit I had my reservations.
Yep. No,
but,
that's
yeah.
It turned out quite well.
DB007 is going to come home in third too. So very strong performance here from one of our strongest drivers in the championship.
Absolutely.
He'll be looking to bounce back for season 3.
Just had
and really take it to the cyborg.
Maybe a slightly too eventful race for him to finish any higher than third, but he showed glimpses of the speed he's capable of.
Oh, Wakey, look at this.
Wakey. There he
well
is.
done. Great drive. P4. And Diego comes home in P5, not far behind. So that's how much he caught him up in that last bit of the race. He'd be ruined that mistake that cost him. Gazballs, first race back. He's going to be P6 for the Obsession Motorsport car. Nice job, mate.
See how
well
he
done.
feels after 90 minutes of that. He might be thinking, that's
might give
enough.
this back up.
Yes.
T-Jam's going to get home. It's going to be close with Maverick, though. It's half a second.
Oh, geez. There
He's
must have been an incident there because there was a big gap prior. He's made it.
He was out of fuel.
Aha.
He just
well
got
done to
home on the
both
fuel.
of those guys.
Maverick, well done.
Yep, and T-Jam running the slightly different strategy. Paid off in the end.
Bit of a battle here, guys.
Here we go.
This is
So
ninth and
Jimmy and
10th.
Shansky.
Superfly and Shansky. It's Porsche versus Mazda.
Oh, this
is
gonna
on
be
here.
interesting. Yeah, absolutely. With his straight to go.
That Porsche is a rocket in a straight line
slightly
too.
wide, so he's going to close up here.
If you're Shansky here, you've got to be careful because if I was Jimmy, I'd be backing him up on the exit of the carousel here.
He hasn't.
Don't let him get that run. Again here, just give it a stab of the brakes. Just back him up. Shane's in a good spot here.
He is.
If he can tuck in now, he's right under the back wing.
He's had a really good run out of that. I think he's close enough too.
Not much fuel left in the Porsche though. Closing up. Jimmy's walking across to the inside of the circuit, making him go around the long way.
Here he comes, here he comes, here he comes. Oh, it's
I
just
think the
millimetre
Mazda-
by millimetre, really.
Oh! What a way to finish the race, gentlemen. Well done. That's beautiful.
And that'll be the way they finish.
Great job from Jimmy to hold on there. Well done, fellas. Great driving. Awesome to see.
Black Project will be the final one to cross the line for us, and he'll be finishing in 11th. Commendable performance.
On the lead lap, you got to be happy with that.
Absolutely.
Finishes the race.
Take that
Good
every
job.
time. Well done. Well done to all our drivers tonight. That was quite entertaining. Don't know if anybody managed to pick the top 3 tonight.
Yeah, I think that one's correct there, Lucky. It's hard to go past Speedy tonight for driver of the day because that was a commanding performance. Puts it on pole, pulls a second in the first couple of corners and just drives away from the field, and that was it.
Yeah, and prior to him getting pole position, I don't think many of us would have had him as the dominating driver in the field. So
No.
I think that sort of lays the groundwork for a driver of the day call. But everybody's got their own opinions here.
Apparently Speedy's doing another enduro tomorrow night. That's just sick.
Apparently, he's crazy. Well done, Speedy, mate. Well done.
Yeah, great job, mate. Well done. Excellent drive. Never really headed there, mate. Had that one well under control from the first couple of corners onwards. So awesome to see. Just a big shout out tonight to the guys that
drop comments in the lobby, but T-Jam, holy heck, I'm dead.
She's a big race, that one. And look, hats off to these guys. 14 guys that all jumped in, various skill levels, various pace. You know, it was fairly clean, not a lot of bashing and crashing. And they've all...
Geez, next to none, really, wasn't there?
Yeah, no, a couple guys making mistakes and spearing themselves off.
Yeah, but no car-to-car contact really to speak of.
You know, everybody kept it clean for the first couple of laps when the pack was really close together as well, which was always a question mark where there was going to be issues. But yeah, 90 minutes around a track as demanding as this, you know, hats off to all 14 of these guys to stick that out, because it'll be easy just to cut off the back of the pack and pull in the pits and call it a night. But these guys all stuck it out. You know, shout out to the guys that are getting lapped as well, because that's not a nice feeling, getting lapped. Been there, I know what it's like. Yep. I got lapped in the other Le Mans race twice, so I know what it's like.
As we've said
in
the
past, it's
pretty
demoralising.
If there is to be any further enduro racing in the off season or even in the season, I think the mentality needs to be that what we were speaking about earlier. You know, everybody's driving their own race, driving their own speed. It's not that door-to-door crash and bash sort of racing we're used to in our shorter format racing. But geez, we got some good racing in there still.
Well, you look at I'm going to focus in on Kazzy again here, because obviously being on the back, he pulled near 20 seconds out of his fastest lap.
Yeah, there you go.
Race.
Yep.
So that's
the
alone
goal.
Is you take that and go, look, I did that. I qualified, you know, at a certain time. I was lapping about that at the start. But towards the end of the race, he was near 20 seconds quicker a lap.
That's a massive improvement.
That's a huge improvement in a car that's not easy to drive. So for these guys there to all step up and do it, and you know, Shane's on the DS4 as well, which is just insane.
But as you said, mate, absolutely congratulations to all 14 drivers. Big shout out to obviously Speedy Tyres taking out the win, and then obviously our top three there, Captain Muffin and DB007. Rounding off our podium for tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've all enjoyed tonight's racing. We won't go on for too much longer. We're starting to push towards 10:30 at night, which is a little bit later than what we're used to. So anything in particular you'd like to add there, good Doc, before we sort of say our goodbyes?
Yeah, look, just a big shout out there to the guys that get involved in both this one and the BMW special events. Nice to see everybody putting their hand up and doing something a bit different. Saturday night's a bit different for us too. We don't normally run on a Saturday night, so I know a lot of guys have sort of booked themselves in time, you know, that normally they wouldn't be associated with, you know, playing their computer games or whatnot. So, you know, just on that too, big shout out to all the partners and families and that are allowing this to happen on a Saturday night, which is not normally the night we run on.
And also maybe one final shout out to all of our livery makers who contribute to the making of the cars. It definitely adds something to the race, you know, when each and every car on the grid is just a pretty thing to look at. It sets a high standard, we know, and trust me, if you're not up to that standard, you'd notice it. But all 14 cars tonight, as well as the BMWs last week, look fantastic, and it all contributes to what we do. So thanks to all those guys who put in the hard work for us.
Yep, here.
Rightio. Well, we'll need to sort of... Well, it's not imperative that we figure out exactly who driver of the night tonight was, but I think the general consensus is we're going to go with Speedy here.
I think so. A lot of people were saying Speedy pretty good. Yeah,
there were a couple other names thrown out there. Womble thought Womble should have got it, and maybe one or two other ones out there, but other than that...
Let's do another 90 cruising.
Well done, DB, mate. Solid performance tonight. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll wait and see if we ever do another sort of endurance off-season race of that nature. I'm not going to lie, I think it was a bit more successful. Doc, for joining us tonight.
Pleasure, mate, as always.
As always, good fun. To the guys in chat and our viewers tonight, thanks very much for joining us in enjoying what we do, which is Sector 1 sim racing, guys. We're obviously how far away from season start here, Doc? Can you help me with that?
Couple of weeks, I think.
Couple of weeks away, so get those practice laps happening. make it all start, because it's going to get bloody serious pretty soon, and all this friendly fun and banter stuff starts to turn a little bit more serious the closer we get to the launch of season 3, which let's be truthful, we're all looking forward to. Other than that, guys, we'll leave you tonight. We'll keep you updated, obviously, through our Discord channels and social media channels as to anything that might be coming up between now and then. Otherwise, once again, thanks for joining us. You've been watching Sector 1 Racing. Have a good night.